Well, good morning once again. Are we alive and kicking? Coffee is kicked in. We have some fine coffees being brewed over at the officials' building. And day 6, and it's going to be a scorcher. Otherwise, heading up to around 33 degrees Celsius, humidex up into the high 40s. The world is on fire with fires in California, BC, Northern Ontario. Record temperatures in Europe, and we've got a blazing day today, so stay hydrated. And once again, first, huge congratulations to our under-21 champions yesterday. Top women, we have gold from Germany. Silver, Poland, New Zealand, getting the bronze in the men's division. Great Britain getting the gold. Silver, Germany, and bronze won by Italy. The first series of games today, of course, senior men's action as we get into the final progression, semifinals, finals this evening, of course, concluding with the awards ceremony. And first in pitch number 1, we have the team from Germany, senior women Germany up against Great Britain. Over in pitch number 2, if you've just arrived looking for your teams, Switzerland and the Netherlands, pitch 3. Chinese Taipei and the ladies from Denmark. Pitch number 4 on the outside with Poland up against...
Welcome back to the ICF Canoe Polo World Championships here in Welland, Ontario. It is the final day, and it is the women's and men's open block to finish things off. We're kicking off today with maybe the match of the day. It is Germany and Great Britain. Both teams undefeated, already have their ticket booked for the semifinals. This is about placement. We'll see if either of these teams can continue their undefeated road here in this tournament.
Yep, these two teams definitely through to semi-finals. They'd both like to keep that undefeated record, and this could easily be a precursor and a warm-up for the final, because it's a everybody's pre-tournament favourites would be Great Britain, Germany for the final. They're both qualified for the semis, and now they're setting their stall out, and that's an early goal for Great Britain. They'll like that. They would love a good win here so that they can take it to the final if they get to play the Germans there.
And for Great Britain, the first team to get on the board here, Germany, they only allowed 5 goals in this entire tournament, so surprisingly, Great Britain gets on the board and first in this game.
That will certainly have been a part of the game plan to get to them early, because this German team, very solid defence, hard to score past, and now they've got their first possession of the ball. They're a goal behind. British coach be very, very happy with that.
And you mentioned that these two teams, more likely the favorites of this tournament. We'll see if they want to execute their entire game plan. They may be meeting in the finals later today.
Yeah, they'll keep something in the locker room, I'm sure, but they'll want to test it out. And really, the psychological advantage of winning this game for either team when they do line up in the final, or if they line up in the final, will be huge. The game in the other group, which determines who's top of that group, is played after this one. So Italy women and New Zealand women will be playing to see who plays against either Germany or GB. I don't think they'd want to take either of these teams, but as we're talking, that's the equaliser for Germany. So in the first minute, 2 quick goals, 1 for either team, and tied at 1.
2 tournaments, almost equal records, 8-0 for Germany, 7-0 for Great Britain. Germany had that extra game in the initial group stage. Germany, as I mentioned before, 5 goals entering this game. Great Britain on the other side, though, 68 goals they scored, so almost a great offense versus a great defense here.
That's absolutely the story of it, and that will be how those two things shape up. The firepower of the British team, very good at the moment. They've got some real heavy hitters. In the women's game, 3 big shooters in their team. But the German trademark has always been defence. So here we go. Oh, a fantastic defensive steal. Number 2 for Great Britain, Prue Blythe. Really covering some ground there to cut that ball away. Oh, handling error there. Just an attack just coming to an end there. Ball dropped away. And Germany breaking, double substitution, leaving them very thin on the pitch. They've only got 2 players on the court at the moment. That could have been costly if Great Britain had realised. 3 German players substituting off at the same time. That'll give the coach something to think about.
Luckily for Germany, though, it didn't result in anything bad for them. Both of these teams successful yesterday in the U21s. For the men's, Great Britain finished on top over Germany. On the women's side, Germany finished with the gold. So both of these teams consistent throughout this tournament, very successful.
Absolutely, and there, just as we were talking, German attack, forcing their way and then passing the ball, forcing the defender out of the way, then passing the ball through and getting a shot away. A save for the British keeper, resulting in a corner. First of the game, and here there's some intent, look, making it very, very difficult for the corner taker. And Ginny Coyles from Great Britain breaking out. They're going to pressure this German team. They know that the Germans' very strong set play attacking team. They're trying to disrupt that right from the start. I think they'll see how this goes in this game. If it works, we'll see it again in the final. If it doesn't work, well, they'll come up with another plan by this afternoon.
Both of these teams looking to finish first. This is the final game in this second group stage for both of these teams. Both teams have yet to lose. Great Britain back on the attack. They push forward.
Very tight play on the line to clear the line. Really had to be 2 or 3 quite careful passes. Don't want to take the ball out of court and concede a corner, and they've brought it up the field. 40 seconds plus still on the shot clock as they set themselves for the first set play here. Big German defence, the line of 3 defenders in front of the goalkeeper. And on the front you have number 10, Eleanor Gillies, very experienced player, trained in Great Britain for a while. Very committed to the cause here, and she will try to disrupt this British attack and get a breakaway if she can. German captain, big leader for them, leads right from the front, literally, in this game.
You can see really Great Britain struggling to get anything on the inside, this German defense.
Yeah, holding them out on the 6-metre line, and in the end just a little bit of frustration there from Great Britain. A long looping shot over the top, not really testing the keeper. But here again, a press situation, trying to disrupt the Germans in their own half. This is quite unusual, and I'm pretty sure this is them trying out a tactic that they might choose to use at the end of this competition. So tied at 1, 2 early goals, and now the game seems to have settled into a pattern where GB are pressing right deep onto the German possession, and Germany managing to break it down with some accurate passing. Touched by a defender, ball still in play, and a corner ball for Germany there. British player not quite able to keep hitting court.
It should be mentioned that a draw between these two teams, if that happens in this game, the first seed would go to Great Britain. They currently have a plus-minus differential of 30, Germany 11.
Well, that's one of the advantages of the attacking play, and the system is deliberately set up to do that. The team that scores more goals gets a reward. But I kind of get the impression neither team's really playing for a draw here.
That's right. Both of these teams trying to build some momentum. The semifinals a little later today in the morning. The finals will take place in the afternoon today for both the men's and women's open blocks.
Yeah, and there's a lot of history between these teams. They play each other at every competition. They are the 2 main toe-to-toe rivals in Europe, and they know each other very well. As friends off the court quite often, but not so much once they get down here. This is the business end of the day. They work hard to beat each other. There's a rivalry that is face-to-face, and there's a rivalry where matching up personally and as teams. And this is quite a mobile game here. GB trying to run the clock down by harrying the Germans outside the 6-metre area. Referee's called a foul there because of that harrying, drafting out, and they're tackling players outside the 6 without the ball, and that is a foul. Within the yellow, boys, where you have the 6-metre area, pretty much any boat-to-boat contact is considered legal, but you can't obstruct or push a player around outside the 6. And then the Germans coming inside, driving up close to the British defence, but again, mad scramble there to clear the lines, having to be very, very careful not to concede a line call. And well done. So far, still huge pressure there. A little bit of their own medicine coming on from Natalie Herman. She was then harrying the British right on the line. So 2 quite different styles for each of these teams, both copying the same tactic. So I do wonder if they're just testing things out.
And it wouldn't really surprise us. We've said before that these two teams, the favorites, they could be facing again later today.
I think all the smart money is on this being the final later on. And we know that New Zealand and Italy would love to spoil that plan, and that often happens in sport. That's why we come to see these games, but red-hot favourites for sure.
Germany now pushing forward. Looks like it could be a 3-on-2 here.
Yeah, this is a very well-constructed break, and they are good at this. This is their game, really. Defend and break. Oh, and a great save from the British keeper. And again, fighting to keep it in. We've seen players in that situation throw the ball off and concede a corner, but at this stage they're fighting for everything. They were desperate to keep that on, and they managed to do it. Some very good skills there. British goalkeeper Alison Brown, under a lot of pressure, right under the goal, managed to clear the ball away. And they've also received a foul from the referee, so that just takes the heat off.
Right now the score 1-1. It's a tie game, very even so far. Maybe this game going a little bit more in the German side. They're more of a defensive team, so the lower the score, maybe the better for them.
Yes, I think that's what they would think. If they can keep the score at 1-1 and come into the end, they'll get a break in the last minute or so, and that could finish for them. Again, at some point in the second half, Britain might well be aware that the draw favours them in the league, but at this stage, no sign of that.
You mentioned these teams, big rivals.
Very much so. In polo, these two teams have been matched in finals right from the very beginning. Back to the first World Championships in 1994, Germany and Great Britain have been contesting the majority of finals. And a corner ball. We're creeping inside the last 2 minutes of the first period, still tied at 1. British corner. They'll want to stay up this end till they score. Big German defence. They mustn't throw weak shots at the defence. They have got big hitters, Great Britain, and they have to use them here. Running a little time off the clock here. They're setting up a set play. There's a plan coming here. You can see it. Play over on the far right now, trying to draw the German defence across. Hard to see just at the moment who they're working for. They've reset this, obviously not happy with the way the play was going. Come back out to reset the set play. Coming in a traditional formation, but flexibility. But there, shot coming from Ginny Cawson, disappointed in herself there, shaking her head, apologising to the team, sorry, should be doing better. And now they've gone to a man-for-man press, taking the Germans on nose to nose, backing themselves to be able to win a simple kayaking battle. 2 British players onto 1 player on number 7 on the British right. That could be a mistake. And now dropping to bring on a goalkeeper. So pressing 5 out, and then in the last 30 seconds of the game, dropping back to a keeper. They don't want to concede a goal just before half-time. At 1-1, both teams will be saying, we've got this, we can come out and win it. And both teams are right. And the second half of this game could be really lively, but there's still 20-plus seconds to play in this half. Great Britain on the front foot, moving forwards. Long shot. Half a chance taken by Prue Blythe, but would have been more than a shot from more than half the court, and it didn't quite have the legs to get the goal.
And now Germany, they're going to have to be quick here if they want one final shot in this half.
They'll get a shot away. Whether they can be close enough to make it count, I doubt, but that's falling short, and that brings us to the end of the first period.
It is a 1-1 game between Germany and Great Britain. Both of these teams have yet to lose in this entire tournament. We'll see if either of these teams can maybe pull away in the second half. We'll be right back.
The DV women are sitting well on top of the group with a goal difference of plus 30. So we finish this game with a draw. They'll go through in first position. The German ladies are many goals behind with their goal difference of plus 11. So if they're going to push hard, they'll push hard to try and win this game to try and get top position in the group and the psychological advantage going into the finals. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens in the second half.
And time 8:14 again. Good morning. You've just arrived on site, day 6. And again, it's promises that there'll be a scorcher. We're getting breezes beginning to pick up, which is a good thing. Again, I think this will be the hottest day of the competition on any levels. Getting to break. Quick little technical note for Duncan. And I know as a long-time athlete myself, dragon boating, cycling, marathoning, etc., etc. I would imagine with an early game at 8 o'clock in the morning and the activity being quite intense, I would imagine most of the athletes would have had breakfast at least 2.5 hours prior to the competition. You're not going to get up last minute, grab a bit of toast to the competition, but I guess it's critically important to eat early to get the food into you, to get your blood sugar level up as high as possible before, especially an early game.
Yeah, these early games, the majority of people will be up before 6 o'clock in the morning and, as you say, have an early breakfast and get to the venue nice and early. They're some of the hardest games to prepare for, both physically and mentally, especially when it's a critical game like this. So you need to, these athletes would all have their pre-game routines well and truly planned and understood before they get to their championships. We do a lot of these events, and the 8 o'clock start is not uncommon, on a weekly or monthly basis in the big competition.
Would you say perhaps a high-carb breakfast over a high protein, or a mix of equal mix?
Can I get a town release?
Protein and carbs.
I'm no nutritionist, Tony. With the Australian teams, we always go on personal preference. Some people like protein, some like carbs. So very much a personal thing. And each player would have that would be part of their pre-game routine for each early morning game.
No, that's a good point, and I know I speak from personal experience. You find out during the course of training, of course, what works for you.
Yeah, absolutely, and there is a wealth of experience in these two teams.
And we are back here for the 2018 ICF Canoe Polo World Championships. It is Germany and Great Britain in the women's open block, tied at 1. An interesting first half, both teams quick goals, but then after that, the defense was the story of the game. Both of these teams tied for first. They both already advanced to the semifinals here. This is more about seeding, and here is the second half sprint.
Yeah, it's about seeding, it's about bragging rights, and it's about setting your stall out for the final day. They go to a semi-final, they'd like to go to that semi-final with a win, and if they do meet the other team back in the final, they would love to have won this game, and that is a stunning start. That is a superb shot from Leonie Wagner of the German side. Broke through all on her own, pretty much an individual effort going through the British defence and smashing a goal in. Again, the perfect start for Great Britain in the first half, but that is the perfect start for Germany in the second.
Very similar starts in these halves, 2 quick goals by Great Britain and then Germany here in the second. It is 2-1 though for Germany.
And now it's, can Great Britain respond in the same way the Germans did in the first half with a quick reply? They certainly want to. You can see the hurry up going on here. Ball bulleted into the middle, bouncing off British hands onto a German boat and then out of play. Quite lucky for Great Britain there that they've got a corner. Oh, you can feel the urgency now. Just inside that German defence, 2 British players working hard, trying to make a space, trying to make something happen. They don't want to be a goal behind. Ball passed inside by hand, blocked down illegally according to the referee, and British free shot. Corner ball. They're going to try and wind this pressure onto a level that the Germans can't cope with. Everybody on that court knows that this German defence is strong. Now for the Germans, they have to prove it. For the British, they have to find a way of breaking it down, and they're taking the physical route here. 2 players inside, trying to make a space. That pass going too hard, too deep, but tidied up by Prue Blythe for Great Britain. Great work to keep a team in possession. Captain's job.
Germany, one of the best defense teams, I would say the best defensive team here in this tournament, maybe in any single block.
Yep.
So they're built to really take the lead here.
Yeah, this will suit them. They don't like to be behind. They know that their big game is to defend here, get the line strong and then score on the break. And that will suit them really well. They'll be really comfortable that they're a goal ahead. They will be happy to just defend for the next 10 minutes if that brings them the win.
On the flip side, though, for Great Britain, such a great offensive team. They're built to really come back against any lead. So a different tale between both of these 2 teams.
Yes, they've got to break this defence down. They're doing it physically. You can see what the plan is here. They're really trying to work the Germans hard. If they can make some space in that line, the hitters can score. I think it's early for them to be shooting from so deep. German goalkeeper, very strong. They're not likely to get product there.
And that's a shot that Germany will let the Brits take every single time.
Yes, they'll back their keeper to save anything from out there. And now Germany have the possession because of that shot going straight over the top of the goal, and they will build it. Again, they've got some big hitters. Oh, some lovely confident passing there. Could have ended up being very scrappy under the pressure in the British goal, but the German girls' hand-to-hand passing just gets them out of trouble, settles them down. They've recycled the ball, the shot clock's been reset, and they're back in the driving seat. right now you'd have to say that in the ebb and flow of this game, the Germans are on top, they've got the lead and they're looking comfortable.
And with how great this German defense is, a 2-goal lead, if they're somehow to get themselves back on the board again here in the second half, it's going to be extremely difficult for Great Britain to get back in there.
Yes, very much so. They, GB really have to try and get something back. Alison Brown in the British goal. She knows she's going to be tested now. She's just made one big save. She'll have to make more than one if they're going to bring this game home, I think. You can see the British setting up, try and spoil the pass out. Prudence Brythe then in front of the goal, trying to stay free, forcing the Germans to go long. And it's paid off. They've created an opportunity. The Germans have made a bad pass, and now GB have got the ball. A flick pass to Ginny Coyles, happy to roll up with the ball and redistribute. So that pressing corner working well for Great Britain there. A risky strategy in some respects, but they're a goal down, and clearly this could easily be the way they're going to play the final if it works for them.
And in a game where you're already booked yourself into the semifinals, this is the game where you could take a risk maybe to figure something out.
Yes, and I think it feels like that to me, and I'd be surprised if that's not what's happening. Now we've got the British doing as they were before, trying to work over on the left side of the German defence as we look at it, making a space for number 5, Bethan Littlewood. But again, they're going to have to stop this. This ball went flying over the top of the goal, not challenging the keeper, and they really need to get their targeting scanners tuned into that goal, because at the moment, if the German keeper doesn't have to make a save, they're really going to be in trouble.
Germany, they finished 8-0 so far in this tournament, yet to be defeated. They haven't even drew. Same for Great Britain, 7-0. Great Britain, or I should say Germany, had that extra game in the initial group stage. Looking for the third of the day.
That was a soft goal, really. Allowed the German player, Svenja Schepper, just to slide through the defence and get an unchallenged shot away. And any player at this level, if they get a little bit of time in front of goal, they will score, and that was the story of, and trying to get a snapshot back off the restart, but again, missing the target. If Great Britain do go down in this game, this will be the story of it. They've had chances to hit the target and just failed to hit open goals there, not testing the keeper, not making the keeper make saves, and really, they've got to do that.
Especially when you're facing a team as good as Germany, you have to test them all game long. Make sure that they're always mentally checked in for the game. For
sure, and those shots that go over the top, they really lift a team. When you're defending and you're under pressure and somebody just throws the ball over the top of the goal and gives you possession back, it really does give you a lift. And the opposite is true. When your teammate throws that ball away, you've just got to work again to win it back. And again, the Germans have just returned the favour, just throwing a weak shot up and it goes wide, and now GB coming quickly. This could be their chance to turn this game back into their favour, because certainly, as we said before, at the moment, the team in the driving seat, the Germans.
3-1 in favour of Germany over Great Britain. This is for the first seed. We just passed the 4-minute mark. Great Britain's going to have to get something quick.
Some lovely quick passing there inside, but the German defence just closed up. They were out quite exposed. As soon as the threat came in, that line just tightened up, and they just smothered any chance that Great Britain had. Really nice defending from the Germans. That's more like it. That's an on-target shot from up fairly close. Forces a save. Most goalkeepers will expect to make a good number of saves in a game like this, but they cannot save it all if you get up close.
That was Bethan Littlewood who took the shot for Great Britain. They'll get a corner at the bottom of the pitch.
Driving into the German defence, trying to find a pass there. Just couldn't see anyone that was open enough to take the ball, not prepared to take a risky pass. Forced into a long looping pass, as you say, back over to Bethan Littlewood with a little bit of time inside the goal. Cuts it back inside. But again, no product there. Bethan Dean getting the chance to fall to her. And we can expect to see this. The Germans quite happy to let the shot clock run down a little bit. That 3-1 lead, very comfortable for them. They will be feeling confident now in this game. They know if they don't slip up, they're really going to be very, very difficult for GB to do it. And as usual, the commentators curse German little handling error. Great Britain straight out and win possession. Now, can they turn this game? Bringing the ball up the pitch, 50 seconds, so virtually a full shot clock as they arrive in front of the German defence. And again, the German defence at this stage playing quite fast and loose, quite open, not their typical thing. As soon as the pressure comes on, bang, that line of threes back in front of the goalkeeper, and the chance is snuffed out. Interesting, they are trying to hold Great Britain out. Quite open defence now, as you can see. Then as the pressure comes, just letting themselves tighten up, and you effectively end up facing a wall of just black buoyancy aids and boats. Shots forced, but an offensive foul called there. Somebody hitting the German goalkeeper, and they'll be coming away. Again, that soft foul really just takes the pressure off Germany. 1 minute 25 on the game clock and a minute on the shot clock. The Germans will now just run this down. Even if Great Britain get one, they're not really likely to get the second now.
And this game really has been Germany's game. A low-scoring 3-1 lead. They've really been almost impossible to score on defensively, other than that first early goal by Great Britain.
Yes, and again, I think that'll be the talk, because these teams will help to meet. Obviously, they have to get through the semi-final, but they've got to figure out a different way of dealing with Germans. And again, there another open goal chance just goes begging. I think they'll have plenty to discuss when they get off Great Britain about how they could have turned this game differently.
And even though that shot was pretty far down the pitch, Great Britain, they're known to score and score in bunches, so a little surprising that they've missed some of these open shots.
Yes, I think so. They'll be tired after the end of a week, but they're really going to have to sort that out. If they get to the final and they start missing chances like that, then they're going to have a disappointing day. They really need to get their shooting boots on and really deal with this a bit better, but I'm sure the talk will go that way. Germany now just letting the shot clock run out, and really I think both these teams know the outcome. The last 10 seconds of this game just going to peter out.
Both of these teams undefeated, but Great Britain will suffer their first loss. It is extremely hard, no matter how good you are, to go undefeated this far into a tournament.
Yes, it is, and the Germans putting a marker down for the final, but Great Britain will say the game later is another day. Both these teams now have to get their mind off that game, stop thinking about what they do in the final. They've got a semi-final to play against New Zealand or Italy, and which team that each of these teams plays will be determined by the very next game on this field. It's either Italy or New Zealand will play Great Britain or Germany.
It is a 3-1 final in favor of Germany or over Great Britain. We will have New Zealand and Italy in the women's open block coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Somebody's having a birthday, and not too sure of your name, but happy birthday. On behalf of all the officials, well done. In pitch one, again, Great Britain beating Germany 3-1. Just a quick heads up on our moving ahead to 8:35. I'm here in pitch number one. Getting ready. On water, getting warmed up. New Zealand. Up against Italy. Senior women. Pitch two. Senior women, Spain and France. Pitch three on the outside, the U.S. and Singapore. On pitch four would be the Islamic Republic of Ireland, or rather Iran. Iran, rather, and Denmark. Pitch number four.
Heads up, it's not
Got pitch number one. Getting ready. We have New Zealand.
It's a break
and
one.
Italy.
Okay. So make sure ask, what do you do before? Graphics. Someone on graphics right now? I think we Okay.
So we did a small peek.
Yeah. Okay, dude. Best of luck. Actually, why don't you show me your new graphics quickly? Yeah. It's
So things beginning to kick off this morning. We've broken the ice, so to speak. Those games have concluded. And once again here in pitch number 1, New Zealand. Getting ready. Battle Italy. Senior women. Once again, if you've just arrived on site, and again, if we have any spectators from the great city of Welland, taking some time today on this holiday weekend here in southern Ontario. Holiday Sunday, and the final day of the 2018 ICF Canoe Polo World Championships. And again, I just want to take, during this break, huge shout out to our volunteers who've done a tremendous job. Many here bright and early this morning wearing the red shirts. So if you see any of our volunteers, many of them from around Welland, Niagara Falls, Niagara Lake, around the Niagara region, do give them a huge thank you. They've been involved in many events here over the years. Certainly want to thank our host organizing committee, the City of Welland, ICF, Canoe Kayak Canada, and also to the province of Ontario. Also want to thank our presenting sponsors, Regatta Sports, Yupin Sports. I've been running the CPS Canoe Polo Series tents. They do have a lot of canoe polo merchandise on sale. Also want to thank Canada's Best Value in Seaway Mall. Also to our supporting sponsors, and a great shout out to the team, the students from Niagara College. They've been here all week, in here on the second floor of the tower. And again, handling a lot of the live streaming, a lot of the technical audio-visual filming, and they've done a tremendous job. And again, a huge thank you. I want to thank Brock University, Nebraska Sport, Festivities, Best West University Suites, and Tourism Partnership, Niagara. And of course, we will have wine, beer on sale, but that won't be until 11 o'clock later on today. Also, quick heads up, our final games this afternoon. This will be the final in the senior men and women's division. Women's final will be taking place at 3:40. Just want to mark that on your calendars. The men's final, 4:20 this afternoon. And once again, once we've concluded the men's final, we will have a special awards, the medal ceremony right afterwards. Right now, pitch 1, New Zealand up against Italy. Game all set to go. Good luck. The New Zealand women up against Italy. Good luck. We've got a good cheering group from Italy. And of course, Italy doing well on the world stage. The great golfer Francesco Molinari, of course, winning the British Open a few weeks ago in Scotland. Hopefully Italy prevailing in this game. All set to go against New Zealand. Good luck.
Hello and welcome back to the ICF 2018 Canoe Polo Championships. And we got a very entertaining game in front of us, a really big game for New Zealand, not so much Italy. They have been the class of this group, but New Zealand needs to win here and hope for a France loss.
Yeah, the slight delay we're getting on the start is that there are 3 fields playing the final round games in this very tight Group WE. And so all those games must start at the same time. So within seconds of each other, these games have started. And in front of us, we have Italy and New Zealand. On the adjacent pitch, we have a game that affects the teams on this field, which is France and Spain. We'll go into that in a little more detail in a moment. But at the moment, Italy win the first charge start, go on to the offense, and they have, as you say, been the cream of this group.
Now the Italians going to set up their offense here, look for an early goal, and put New Zealand in a hole here. But we know how strong that Kiwi defense is, and we'll see if Italy can break through that on the first offensive possession.
Italy almost certain to go through. They've currently got 12 points in this group, not guaranteed mathematically, but looking good for qualification. They'll play either Great Britain or Germany in the semi-final, and that again, well, a big matchup game, either team. But that's Kiwis taking their chance, and off the post, really a good opportunity, just on the halfway line.
That was the captain, Aaron Moore there, nearly caught Italy sleeping.
Yep. And they really, the Kiwis to qualify need to win this game. They know that. A draw won't do. They have to win to give themselves a chance of coming out of the top 2 of this group.
And in games like this, if you're New Zealand, you obviously want to strike first. You never want to be playing from behind.
Nope.
Just adds to more of the hardship to it. Now the Italians setting up their offense. This has been relatively how it has been with all the Italians teams in every field. They like to take their time on offense and just get the right shot. They don't care if they take down the whole minute as long as they get the right shot.
It's a formula their men started with. They've become world champions doing it, so it's kind of difficult to fault it, and obviously they're passing it down through their teams. Women executing it in very much the same way as the men's team would.
Foul being called there. There was only shot clock resets there off of that silly foul there by the Kiwis, and Italy will regain possession.
Really clumsy challenge, letting the kayak hit her full in the body, and the referees are going to catch that all day long.
You got to be more aware of the clock there. Would have been a turnover for the Italians, but they're back on the attack now.
2 out of 3 of those will probably go through to the semi-finals.
Looks like France has got one up on Spain on the other pitch over there.
Yeah, and again, just to be clear, very, very interlocked, these groups, very tight. If France were to win, they would guarantee themselves a place in the semi-final. And then goal difference and this game here would determine which of these 2 teams join them. So really, Italy, France, or the New Zealand team could still qualify for the semi-finals in this group. All this early pressure by Italy, no product. This could easily come back to haunt them. The Kiwis have had one break, shot bounced off the bar, narrowly missing, giving the Kiwis an early lead. But now, apart from that, they've spent the entire half so far defending.
Ada Prespettino will take it in from the corner. See if the Italians can break through here. They shoot. Oh,
that's a big shot over the top. Kiwi goalkeeper would be pleased to see that go by, because that was hard and high. Nice to not actually have to save those. Catherine Bolton be very, very pleased to just watch it go off the back of the court. And now the Kiwis, this is their first measured attack of the game with 4 minutes gone, almost 4 minutes gone.
Left side now, here's Bolton. Tries to throw it across the pitch. A silly turnover there, and the Italians will gain possession once again.
And they are quick. They've scored a lot of goals on the break in this tournament, and they'd be happy to take one here and now. Settle them down no end if they got a lead here. Really, the Kiwis have got to win this game and win big to give themselves a chance of qualifying out of the group. And so far, not really managing to get a grip with that.
Lago now going to play it up for the Italians. Going to set up a play here. Find the right shot.
On pitch 2, another goal for France. They're booking their place in the semi-final. One of these teams needs to step up to take the other place. If this game were to tie, then that would guarantee Italy, that would favour Italy a tie here. So it's down to the Kiwis to make something happen. Oh, nerves creeping in there, that kind of handling error. You can put that down pretty much entirely to the pressure these players are feeling under.
A little bit of space on the water here. Prespettino, she takes the shot off the right post there. Almost caught the Kiwis sleeping, but they'll keep possession. Barely keeping it in are the Italians, but they will reset. Oh, sorry. It was a turnover there and illegal possession.
Oh, it's gone off the back line. In that shot, that's dropped off the back line when it's come off the post before it's been brought back into play. So we've got a goal line throw. Seemed a late call there, but if they've got it right in the end, then thank you to the officials.
Polo now for New Zealand. Takes the long shot, and she pots it
And she
in.
finds it. Yep, that's the lead. A little later in the game than they'd have liked, but still 15 minutes of this game to play. Plenty of time for them to rack up a couple, 3 goals, and that's what they need. They need a win, and they need to win big to get themselves into the semi-final.
And they also need a little luck on the other pitch there. They got to hope that France loses to Spain, but it's not looking that way right now. Over on pitch 2, France is currently up 2-1.
If New Zealand win this over Italy, they'll move on to equal points. So it's about the scale of the win. They could overtake Italy here with a big win.
Now the Italians pressing once again on the offensive end. Looking to answer back here and nod this game all up at 1. Right side of the pitch now. Sketsapanska.
If the Kiwis win this game by 2, they'll tie on goal difference and points with Italy in the group. French can take top, but these 2 teams could tie, and then it will come down to goals scored.
New Zealand get their hands on it.
Kiwis trying to get it out of their pitch. You see a little bit of pressure here from the Italians.
And the Italians so far have scored more goals than the Kiwis, so it's fair to say Kiwi need to win by 3 to guarantee themselves a place in the final. Semi-final, excuse me.
Holding foul there. Italy balls. Taken quickly.
Oh, can't handle that pass there. There's another turnover from the Italians. The Kiwis are on the attack the other way.
And this game has swung in favour of the Kiwis. Now that goal has put Italian nerves on edge, I think. Some mistakes coming. This very steady Kiwi team could take advantage now. They'll be wanting another goal before half-time. They don't need to be chasing the game in the second half. If they get one more goal this half, then they'll know they just need 1 in the second to win. I'm hoping their management and coaching will have them informed, and I'm hoping I'm right in thinking a 3-goal win takes them through.
Bolton throws it inside to the captain. Moore. Oh, they can't handle the pass, and the Italians force the turnover.
This is a big chance for them, big chance for them. They've got breaking players.
Here comes down Anastasia.
If she can deliver that pass, this should be a goal. That is beautifully done. 3 players involved in that break and no mistake, and the Kiwis doing their best to close it down, but that's the equaliser for Italy.
A little bit of a mental error there from the Kiwis, turning it over and leading to a fast break opportunity for the Italians, and they made no mistake about that one.
A good pick-up, and that final pass was under quite a lot of pressure.
Now the Kiwis will try and respond and regain the lead here with 3 minutes left in the half. They fake the shot. Bolton back inside.
Oh, the Italian defence, they've set up a line of 4 now. They're just keeping this out. They'll be relieved to have pulled that back, because another Kiwi goal could have really put them under serious pressure in the group. While it's tied, the Italians really are in the driving seat. The Kiwis have got to force something, and in forcing it, they've left themselves a little open here to another break. Not quite as well crafted as the previous one, but still moving forwards. Forward players marked out. Going to have to be something special, and the Kiwis have got this covered now. Well done. And going, I thought for a moment they were going to a press. Not yet.
Perhaps a little too early for that.
Yep.
It's a very risky play there.
Yep, they've got 4 men out now, not 5, so they've got some work to do, but clearly they're seeing that as their strategy. That's the full press has come out. Balls come inside, but under pressure, marking man for man. This really is to try and keep the Italians out. They want to get something in this half, and they've done it. They've done it.
Nearly a fight for the ball.
Yep.
A lot of contact down there, and the Kiwis will come up with the possession.
Yeah, Erin Moore, Kiwi captain again, stepping up, winning the ball, driving upfield.
Staying out there, marking the players still.
Fendel now down the left side of the pitch. Now you see the Italians putting on a little bit of pressure with the Kiwis.
They have
a little taste of their own medicine, I suppose.
That's exactly it. They've decided to match it up. That's brave. It's going to give us a game. If this continues into the second half, we're going to have quite a finish here. But that shows what's at stake. A place in the semi-final. That's where you have to get. If you want to win a gold medal, you've got to get in the semi. And that's the last shot.
I believe there's a foul on the play before there. The stoppage of play.
Tied at 1 as we come towards the last minute. Man-for-man press being applied by both teams. Oh, some nice work going on this line near to us. Some good kayaking skills. It is a match-up. I would say physically stronger the Kiwis, but maybe a little quicker the Italians. So we could have nice work trying to get a turn and drop the player. They've pulled a substitution that's got a player free on the half court, and they've found her. Can they tear this apart now?
Oh, beautiful block there by the
Great
Kiwis.
blocking, well recovered.
Let's see if the Italians can set up their offense here.
Oh.
And they're calling it the other way.
I think that's a line call. It's gone out. Yeah. Tried to keep it in play there, but didn't manage it. And the Kiwis get what will, I think, be the last play of this half.
Boy, they would love to get a goal here to go up 2-1 heading into half. That would give them all the momentum.
Yeah, it sure would.
Bolton with the ball now. Kiwis going to take their time here, the final 15 seconds. Oh, I beg your pardon, they shoot. And
I think she was counting on the Italians, thinking that they would hold it. It would be the natural thing to do. So with 15 seconds, they've pumped a shot. Whether they can get this corner taken and get another chance remains to be seen.
It's unlikely here, and
yeah.
That'll do it for the half.
Yep.
All knotted up at 1. The Italians and New Zealand, great back and forth action. We'll see who takes the win at the end of the half next time.
Down to halftime between New Zealand and Italy, and a question that I asked Duncan a little earlier on. Of course, I want to get your take on this from your perspective, of course, as an athlete myself in a number of disciplines. Nutrition, of course, is critically important, particularly indoors. When I go for a long bike ride, I'm having breakfast at least 2 or 3 hours prior to a long and intense ride. But of course, with this sport, canoe polo, a little more intense in the water. So from your perspective, obviously, I mean, if you were coaching your athletes on a very important morning, I mean, I expect that you're having breakfast at least 2 or 3 hours early prior to the game just to get your blood sugar level.
Yeah, definitely. Players will have been up probably about 3 hours before their game this morning, eating quite early, good breakfast, giving them time to digest that, get wide awake as well. It's always important to be at your best. So in theory they do say 3 hours, and which means a very early start for these teams this morning, probably up about 5 o'clock.
For me, a little tip for myself, I love a good cup of coffee with honey, natural honey. For me, is a real zinger, gets me going in the morning. I'm sure a few of our athletes do this as well.
I think they do. I mean, certainly the European nations like a cup of coffee in the morning, but obviously not too much caffeine early.
Just getting you set here for the second half between Italy and New Zealand, all knotted up at 1. And then on the other pitch there, France and Spain are at half, 5-1 currently for the French. They're in clear control of that one.
Yes, and I think if France win, then they clearly take themselves to the top of this group, and this game becomes all about the second place in the group. And we've done the maths. At the end of the day, the Kiwis need to win this game by 3 to go to the semi-final. So Italy, New Zealand, first charge start, won cleanly by Italy. The Kiwis must know they need 3 goals here. They're going to have to throw everything at it. This is the game to be watching.
You don't want your tournament championship hopes to come to an end here. Both of these teams very strong and very good. They just happen to be in such a powerful group.
And it's been a close group. It has been very exciting. But here now, the Italians will know if they score now and the Kiwis have to win by 3, that gives them, they have to get 4 goals in a half. That is a big, big ask for any team at any stage in the competition. The pressure will be all on the Kiwis. The more they have to risk, they have to be so careful not to concede 1 goal.
It's total opposite for Italy. They will be just happy with just the draw, because that would obviously move them into the next round. And wild shot there over the net, close, but not going there for the Italians.
Now let's see how the Kiwis approach this. They've substituted. I'm guessing that's a bit of defence gone off, because they're really going to have to score some stuff. They've got to bring the most offensive team they can bring on.
See how the Italian defense responds to this as well. They're no joke on the defensive end, and it's going to be quite the task to score 4 goals, let alone against this Italian team.
Yep.
Comes the Kiwis now on the right side.
Driving it in, pushing it back up to towards the keeper there.
Oh,
a little
silly
hint
mistake.
of desperation. That is the mistake they must not make.
Now the Italians on the break. See if the Kiwis can hustle back and stop it. They do essentially for now and stop the break, but now the Italians have the ball and the time just keeps on ticking for them.
Yeah, a minute and a half gone already, and the Italians will take scrub a little bit more off the clock now. Some good passing from the Italian team. You can see how they've got into this position. Very clean Polo. Nice style of play.
Oh, nice strength down low,
Yep.
powering for the ball. That looked like for sure was going to go back to the Kiwis.
That's good kayaking skill. It really is. Picking up the loose ball. I saw this with their men. That seems to be the mentality. Everything that's loose, they'll fight for, and it does pay off.
Now the Italians will take their time with the possession here, but they have a cutter on the right side.
And here we go. They're working this for 6. Got some motion. Here we come. Recycles it. Nice. Not a good enough opportunity. And, of course, they're in no hurry at all.
Right side now, back up top. There's Lago. Catania shoots. Oh, nice
and
save
a corner. So that plays right into the Italian hands, though. Another reset of the shot clock, a corner. They'll set themselves back up.
Really?
And here we see Kiwi presses coming. Yep.
Right off the corner, too.
Only with 4 there. They're still keeping a goalkeeper in. I think they need to roll the dice here. They're going to have to chance it. If they keep a keeper in and only press with 4, this Italian passing and moving has been so good. I can't see them winning the ball off them.
We're already 3 minutes into this half, and it's been all Italy so far on the time of possession. New Zealand, the desperation button has got to be pressed soon.
Yeah, I think they should have pressed it already. This Italian team is just looking comfortable, and they've got to get them out of that comfort zone if they're going to turn over and get 3 goals. Just this passing is superb, really.
Great ball movement here. Just keeping it away from the Kiwis. And
so simple as well, and the shot clock just saw the player look at the shot clock. They're not going to get caught out by anything here, and if they're steady, they are just going to take this game and get a place in the semi-finals. You can almost feel the Italian confidence from here.
they're going to have to get a shot off, however, the final 5 seconds of the clock, and they shoot over the net.
Nicely done, though. Again, the ball goes out of court. Would be a spare ball, but it gives them time to reset their defense. No chance of a fast break.
They started that possession at 7:30, and they took a full minute off the clock.
And the
Great
defense
possession.
is set. 6 minutes to score 3 goals. Completely possible for the Kiwis, but they really need to hurry themselves up. Almost, you know, they're being so measured here, and then the final pass has just let them down. It did on the last play. It nearly did there.
Oh, nice save there by the Italian.
Beautifully saved, but off the pitch. Corner ball.
Smart play there.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be the urgency from the New Zealand team that I would expect here. They really are going to have to hustle up. They need to. I accept they need to get 1 goal and then go from there, but they really need to get that 1 goal pretty soon. As we come down towards 5 minutes, getting 3 goals against this Italian team is going to be hard.
Since New Zealand's a little too nonchalant about this, we're nearly halfway through this final period. Perhaps their championship hopes could come to an end here. Nice shot there. Once again, a little too strong for the Kiwis, but it goes off the paddle and it will be their corner.
Well, and if they don't win this game, they will not be going to the semi-final. They must know that.
And the management of the Italians must be like, okay, good defense, keep it tied, don't let any goals, but easier said than done.
As things stand, the Italians will play Germany in the semi-final, and the French will play Great Britain in the women's semi-final. Both of those semi-finals and the gold medal match final played later today.
Kiwis, now we're past halfway. We're past the halfway point, and they shoot once again a little too strong. The accuracy is off today for the New Zealand
we're
squad.
looking at this, and you could easily believe that the Kiwis were a goal ahead the way they're playing. It's like nice and steady. They've finally pressed. They've pressed with 4:30 to go. Full press. They need to really make this work. And the Italians are a good paddling side. They will not be fazed by this. They can deal with it. The Kiwis are really going to have to work to get something here, because the Italians have really, their passing and moving game, as they're demonstrating here, has been good. They're dealing with this 5-out press very, very comfortably.
Good play. A great ball denial there
Yeah.
by the Italians. Like you said, great kayaking skills and just
riding the tackles, making just enough space to keep this ticking over, and the shot clock's going down. But in this game at this time, the Italians don't mind, even if they lose a shot clock penalty. 17 seconds, and again, it's safe Italian possession, confident and comfortable to put the ball in the water.
This has got to be so frustrating for the New Zealand coach here. It's just...
And it's hard work. His players are working, and they've still got a shot away and a goal inside the shot clock. That minute is a fantastic minute for this Italian team, and that minute will guarantee them a place in the semi-final.
What a strike there, too. That was... Caught the Kiwis sleeping, and they put it back in the net. After that hard work of keeping the ball away from the Kiwis, and New Zealand's got to be so tired after that, too.
That's got to hurt them. I mean, the Italian coach down here, Francesca, absolutely egging players on. She knows that was a crucial minute. That minute will get them into the semi-final. That could be the minute that gets them a medal.
That's got to break the confidence of the New Zealand squad as well. It's just, but here they come driving.
Yep.
Golden opportunity, decide not to shoot, and now they do. And there's the defense of the Italians once again.
Yep, they're scrabbling a little here, the Italian defence. They're pressed right back under their line. But the simple fact, they've done it, they've delivered. They could have conceded a goal there and still been safe, but no, they've fought it away. Obviously, the New Zealand team back onto the full press, but
the Italians,
I think the Italians are matching this, yep.
Like you said, they're not phased by this.
No. They're really relaxed. Incredible play from them. This game could set them up for the semi-final because they have played really well here. And they've got a breaking player. They've used a substitution to free a player up on the far side.
Oh, nice pass, but there's a foul.
Oh, that's a shame because tactically just brilliant. The substitution on one side, player comes on the other, made the full court, and the pass was delivered.
Just held the ball a little too long.
Yeah, had to wait for a player to get free and just waited just a second too long. Nice play. Kiwi ball, 2 minutes, 20 to go. And
the Italians will play it safe here. No press, no need to press anyways. It's just.
And now the Kiwis are in a position where they need 4 goals in 2 minutes. It's not impossible,
it's
but
very unlikely.
Yeah, to all intents and purposes.
We've been powering in more, trying to get it in, and once again the Italian paddles are up.
Scrabble in there. No foul call by the referee. And again, Italy
a little keep
switching off. One player goes off on the far side to us, one comes on near side. They're trying to break away. They're using speed now. They've found, I think they've worn the Kiwis down. Kiwi press was working pretty well, but now it looks like the Italians have got more left in their arms. Yeah, the spaces are coming now.
Just beautifully done by the Italians. The keep away game here has been.
I'm very impressed with this. 4 years ago, I don't think the Italian team could have played with this level of control. They're looking good, and as I say, the coach will be very pleased. The boost this gives them for the semi-final.
Look, another opportunity
and
here,
really
2 on 1.
As well.
Oh, beautiful pass inside.
Oh,
well defended,
well defended. But that's going to be Sophie Winton there making that defensive play, but really, that's too little, too late.
Yeah. Kiwis still driving down the left side of the pitch. See if they can grab a goal here. Shot, fake, and they do there off the paddle. A little too late, I would say. A minute 10 left in this game. It might be a little impossible to score 3 goals here, especially on this Italian squad. But
yeah, Erin Moore, the captain, giving them a window of hope. But really, even with the shot, the game clock stopping after each goal before the restart's taken, there's just not enough time. Not the way this Italian team is passing the ball around and moving. Unless they were to absolutely panic and go to pieces, the Kiwis just haven't got time enough left. And they're not going to. Look at this. They're still just doing the same thing near their goal line. Little short of support, but that is a great pass. Some vision, puts it in the space and backs her teammate to get the boat there.
It'll be forced out.
Drawing a foul into the last minute, 40 seconds to go, and the Italians looking good value for the win here. They've earned their place in the semi-final in this game, and I think they will have done themselves psychologically a great favour for that semi-final.
What a confidence boost this game is for sure against a strong Kiwi squad. You know how good they are defensively. Obviously only putting 2 goals on them, but it was enough. We knew going into this game the Italians just had to draw and not give up X amount of goals. But
and Italy will go to play Germany in the semi-final with France playing Great Britain. Germany's a big team to play in a semi, but the Italians have shown so much strength and confidence here. You can't put it past them. They can take up on the Germans.
Beautiful shot there again, scoring for the Italians, giving them.
That's a 3-1 lead.
Italy take the lead once again.
It seems like that'll just about do. The Kiwis with a long-range shot, and they get the paddle on it, and that's it.
That's game over.
The Italian and the French are through for that group, and now semifinals actions will take place later on in the day. It's going to be exciting to see who moves on, and that'll do it. Italy 3-2 over New Zealand. More ICF Polo Championship coming up.
And a quick heads up on the next game here in pitch number 1. We have a semi-final between Italy, Italian men, and France. Heads up on pitch number 2, starting at 9-10. Classification 5th to 8th position. Pitch number 2, Chinese Taipei and New Zealand men. Chinese Taipei. Men's division as well. Pitch 3, classifying 5th to 8th. Fifth pitch. Men from the Netherlands up against Great Britain. And pitch 4 on the outside, classifying 13 to 16. The Swedish women up against Canada. Pitch number 4, but pitch number 1 semifinal. The Italian men and France coming up in a few minutes, so officially starting at about 9:10 in a few minutes. Just arrived on site, and again a huge welcome. Many residents of the city of Welland now beginning to enjoy the final day as we sort out the senior men. Again, if you're planning your afternoon, final games. Senior men and women's action, the final game between the women, 3:40, 20 minutes before 4. This afternoon, the final men's game in the big final game of the tournament, taking place at 4:20 this afternoon. And like last night, we will be concluding with the medal ceremony after a few minutes break. Round things out over a tremendous 6-day championship. The ICF Canoe Polo World Championship here in Welland, Ontario. It's been a great day. Wind beginning to pick up, beginning to cool things off. It was very, very humid this morning. Hardly any wind at all. It was like a pond on the water. Beginning to pick up, high heading up to 33 degrees. Quite a few people sporting umbrellas for a very good reason. It's going to be a scorcher today, easily the hottest day of the tournament, 33 degrees. So again, stay hydrated, critically important. Many people sporting hats. And again, if you have any young children with you, please make sure that they're well supervised. If you have any of our canine four-legged friends, make sure that they're on a leash. We certainly do appreciate this, but certainly for the youngsters, again, it's going to be a very hot day. We do have a full medical facility, as you'll see on the left-hand side. Just underneath the main official building, you'll see the iconic Red Cross and a medical science where if any medical issues involving any of our players, any of our staff, volunteers, and certainly any of our fans, again, we are here to serve you. But again, hydration and make sure you've got some sunblock on. It's a scorcher. Do enjoy it. Day 6. Final day for this great sport. The ICF Canoe Polo World Championship 2018. Of course, we will be in Rome in 2 years, 2020. Just joining, we've lots of room here in the gold seat. some noise. Don't be shy. It's great to see a lot of many teams supporting other teams when they're not playing. Great to sit back. The level of camaraderie has been extremely high. Many of our players making friends from many other countries from around the world. And it's great to see a lot of support here on the stand. Sit back, relax. 9:05, starting in about 5 minutes. Semi-final between the men's division between Italy and France. Good luck. All right, the team's getting warmed up. Again, semi-final between Italy and France. Men's division, sit back, relax, again, make some noise. Coffee's kicked in. Just checking on the Konzelman Winery tent. They had an item very, very popular. I'm just going to go check to see if they have it on tap. Some iced coffee. Went from a nice and cool to cool you off this morning. Of course, the very popular Canadian beer, Coors Light, ice the wine from Niagara on the Lake. That'll be on at 11, just under 2 hours, so sit back. But I'm just going to check to see if we have iced coffee. Yep. There's quite a few people lining up. I'm going to check to see if that is available.
On live.
Of course, they're calling the action for the next game. Again, our superstar, all the way from Australia. National champion over many years, renowned coach and referee, Mr. Duncan Cochran.
Good morning again, Tony. And a big semi-final here this morning with Italy versus France. Two very, very experienced teams. Fantastic skill level. And Italy going in as the current world champion from Syracuse 2 years ago. They'll be looking to really consolidate this game if they can and get back into the final for a chance to defend their title. France, though, a lot of history in this French team, and they'll be doing everything they can to upset the Italians and find a place in the final. I think you'll find we'll get some noise from the French supporters in a moment.
And we're back here for the 2018 ICF Canoe Polo World Championships. This is the men's open block, and we are now at the semifinals. This is where every single play, every possession counts. It's do or die for the French and the Italians. Both of these teams looking to advance to the finals. And here we go with the opening sprint.
Yep, won by Italy. That settles their nerves. Everybody wants that, and they have Gianmarco Emanuele Very, very fast, picks up the ball for them and gives them the first possession of the game. And now we're into the knockout stages. Everything that's gone before, every point, every goal, was just about getting them here. Now it's black and white. It's clear-cut, win or lose. There will be a result to this game. The winner will progress to the grand final and a gold medal opportunity. The loser will go to a third, fourth bronze medal game. Neither team wants to play that game.
Italy finished first in their group. They defeated Germany to get that first seed yesterday. On the flip side, France, they were in first, but they lost to Spain, so they finished second. Spain and Germany will be playing right after this game here on pitch 1.
Yep, and the Italians, current world champions. This match is a rerun of the final in 2016. Italy, playing at home in Sicily, managed to squeeze a goal in golden goal overtime to beat the French. That's how close it was. One of the most amazing games of canoe polo of all time, 2 years ago in the World Championship final, and now that we get a rerun of it in the semi-final here. So France weathered that first period of Italian possession, but they're on the break. Two great kayaking teams here, very fast, very skillful with the boat. Superb play. Amazing passing, very quick, hand-to-hand accurate, big shot. And Bertoloni in the Italian goal steps up and saves it. Corner for France. Switching up, that is amazing. Bertoloni, an amazing all-round player, drops into goal there and bails his teammates out. Really tight Italian defence. 3 players in front of the goalie trying to just keep this French team at bay. They'll have a hell of a job doing that. France passing inside, just a handling error under the pressure there. And Italy get the ball back.
One player to look out for the Italians, Luca Bellini. He's been unbelievable this entire tournament. Their leading scorer. We'll see if maybe he can get on the board. Number 9 on the pitch.
Luca Bellini will get on the scoreboard. I'll put my house on it. He's the Italian captain and he is a goal-scoring machine. And there we go. That is an awesome goal. Happy to take the hit and roll up. Andrea Bertoloni. I describe him as an all-rounder. He's just kept them in the game at one end, gone up the other and put them into the lead. Amazing guy.
And the Italians now up 1-0 over France here. Around 8:15 left in this first half. You mentioned Bertoloni, a complete player, and he's shown that so far in this game.
Absolutely. That is an outstanding performance for him so far. 6 minutes into the game and he's really done his job to perfection. Really tight Italian defence. They'd be one of the pre-tournament favourites. France here into the semi-final. They've not had a good season. They didn't have a good European Championships, but here they are battling for a place in the grand final at the World Championships. A great comeback for them. Hit form at the right time. Just recycling here. We've got the shot clock on 40 seconds. French obviously planning something here. They've got a set play move coming, driving in. 4 players on the outside. They can just execute these plans so quickly. Inside looking for a shooting opportunity. Shot clock comes under 30 and they feel they've got time to recycle. Very, very tight into the Italian goal. Trying to compress things. Shot clock comes down to 15. The French are going to have to find something now. And that's it, a smashing shot, but really just cut straight out by the Italians. They have played brilliantly so far. Oh, and Mr. Bellini finds a space in front of. And a superb finish, as you would expect from Luca Bellini, and that's my house safe for another game.
There was no doubt, I think, in anyone's mind when Luca Bellini there on that fast break that he was going to finish it and give them a 2-0 lead. It is Italy over France right now, the semifinals, the first semifinals matchup, Spain and Germany right after. All 4 of these teams so close, at least in terms of point differential. 13 for Italy, 12 for Germany, 12 for Spain, 10 for France.
Yeah, a good break from Luca Bellini. Takes a well-deserved rest. He's off the back line, just getting his breath back. That is a huge effort. To paddle away from a Frenchman, that takes some doing. And Luca's a big man, big, strong man. Getting that boat moving that fast takes a lot of energy. If he can recover for 30 seconds or a minute, he will be back on as good as new.
France looking to cut this lead in half. Already down 2-0 against Italy.
Very tight Italian defence. They're defending almost with 2 and 2. They are just packing the goal area, just trying to hold the French out. Oh, as soon as the French get a run, the Italian defence just moving over as a unit. It's almost as if they're tied together. Outstanding play. They're really coming good now. And oh, French player trying to delay the throw being taken, but Italians having none of it. Davide Navora just pulling the ball free and getting the break going. And the referee giving a green card for the player trying to make it. That's a good call back for the referee. That was a player trying to delay the throw, just getting a green card. And Lucas had his 30 seconds back on, the captain, telling them what to set up. Pass the ball to me, I'll score, would be my plan if I was Luca Bellini.
And he's been doing it all tournament long. Such an impressive player.
He's been doing it for nearly 20 years. Amazing man. First saw Luca in 1997 at a tournament in Germany, and everyone was backing him then to be a great player, and they were right.
And when you really think about great players, consistency is one of those things. And like you said, he's been doing it for a long time now.
Yep, absolutely. Here we are, moving the ball comfortably. The Italians firmly in the driving seat of this game. The shot clock's coming down. They've got 6 seconds to get one away. They better be careful. 3. And Luca just gets one away, goes over the top of the goal. Again, it's almost a tactic. If you throw it hard and high and it goes over the goal, then you at least get time to reset your defence before the other team can get the ball up the pitch.
France will have to figure something out here to try to erase a 2-goal deficit. 2 quick goals by the Italians here in this first half.
And again, they'll be obliged in the end to play into the Italians' hands because they'll have to take some risky stuff in this defence, and Luca will just be gone. Straight off the front, fast-breaking Italians. 2 Frenchmen back, but 3 Italians down the throats, and one of those Italians, Bertoloni, Bellini, 2 of the best goal scorers in the game on the break. Bertoloni trying to add to his tally there. A phenomenal shot, but again, on the fly, you have to take your hat off to Quentin Herbert in the French goal on the fly. They just blocked it down, and now the regular goalie, Alain Lignel, has taken his place. But that kind of rush goalie, really a big ask of a player, especially against Bertoloni.
You mentioned it was a 3-on-2 attack by the Italians. France able to keep it at a 2-0 lead.
Yep, they did well to smother that, because at 3 I think this game would be away from them. That might give them some hope, and if they can get a break here, you never know, they can get back into this game. But Italy are looking so confident. They're looking like world champions, because at the moment they are, and they want to retain that title. Very confident, right up tight to that French team. Every player's a threat, and they're just passing the ball around. Comfortable, easy. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Just a passage of patient play, and then they just work it into one side, pass it into Bertoloni. He finishes, and they'll be going back. That'll be a move, or a set of moves they practice on the training pitch, executed perfectly.
3-0 for Italy over France. The confidence of the Italians clearly showing all tournament long. We even saw it yesterday against Germany. It felt like that Italy never really had a doubt in their mind that they were going to win that game. No,
and that's the mindset they've arrived here with, and you can see why, and it is paying absolute dividends for them. French forced to try a clever shot, and it's gone under the goal, and it just gives them the ball back. I can't see the French turning this round. The Italians just playing so well. And this will give them a big boost to having a really good semi-final. When they go to the final, they'll be saying, bring it on.
And if they do, it would be against either Spain or Germany. They've yet to face Spain in this tournament. Germany, they defeated them yesterday to earn the first seed, are the Italians.
Yeah, and again, here they are. They'll run maybe another 10 seconds off this clock, and then the play will come. Very typical of the Italians. They seem to want to take the first 20 seconds of the shot clock off just about all the time, and then they execute the play so quickly. But now it's just been stalled a little. The French have done a good job here. 10 seconds to go. Italians will probably just take a hard and high shot to reset the clock. That makes me wrong. Cut inside. Saved by the bar, the French, and now they've managed to gain possession. Yeah, and fouled in the picking up that possession. But of course the Italians have taken the opportunity to get themselves back into their own half. Goalkeeper in, defenders in, and they'll reset themselves quite comfortably. Their defending is really what's changed for me. The Italians have always been a great offensive side, but in the last 4 years their defence has come so strong. And when you've got both ends of the court covered, world champions.
It really does feel like Italy is a complete team right now on
Yes.
both sides of the pitch.
Yeah. Always been a brilliant offence, always have been. The Italians, they've played and thrown everything forward, but this defence is working so well for them. Yeah. And of course it never hurts to have a great goalkeeper. Andrea Romano drops in there, and he really has made some superb saves this championship. Confident. Again, they just all seem to be hitting form at the right time, and that's what you need to do.
For France, though, under a minute left. This is their maybe last opportunity to somehow cut this lead to a 2-goal deficit heading into halftime.
Yeah, and they've got to do that if they're going to win. I mean, again, it doesn't matter how much you win or lose a semi-final by, you just go through, and that's what you need to do. And they need to get something here, because they need to be able to believe at half-time that they can get back into this game. Oh, so close.
That could have been it right there.
And the referee's giving a corner. Andrea Romano in the goal saying no, 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 but looks to me like the referees are pretty sure.
Final chance here.
Yeah. This will be one shot. Can the Italian defence weather it? Yes, they can.
Currently 3-0 in favor of Italy over France. This is the first semifinals game of the men's open block here for the 2018 ICF Canoe Polo World Championships. We'll see if Italy can hang on in the second half coming up.
Awesome display for them. Look forward to some more.
Only quick question for Duncan. Again, just a quick point of observation to a question many of our the uninitiated, those new to the sport. But I can see a lot of the shots very close to the goal. Of course, pace is critically important. We see a lot of shots, but the pace is perhaps just a little too hard, and they're missing. Get a lot of shots right on the edge of the goal. So I assume that it's so easy to perhaps overthrow when you're close to the goal.
It's a very fine line between shooting too hard or not accurate enough. The shooters will try and get the defenders' paddles moving and then pick the corners of the goal generally as the highest percentage shot. Depending on the shooter, some will have a better shot on the top bar than the bottom bar, some are much better on the bottom bar than the top bar. The big thing with the inside shots is that you end up with the defensive players have to be very, very careful with their paddles. Because if they foul you, more than likely you're under a penalty at the open goal. But the game is all about trying to generate the highest percentage shot. So trying to get inside the zone window, or never arc in front of goal is generally your highest percentage shot.
And obviously the real challenge, of course, is to try and, as intense as the action is, close to the goal, and making a shot is to try and stay as relaxed as possible as well, not to tense up. I guess if you tense up too quickly, then of course can cause an error.
Well, you'll find the players get too nervous or too overexcited, and the shots and passes tend to just get a little bit off the mark. I think the big difference in this game right now is the experience of this Italian men's team. Many years playing together. Most of them come up through the under-21 system and had success at the under-21 level. The French
And we are back here for the 2018 ICF Canoe Polo World Championships in Welland, Ontario. This is the first semifinals matchup here for the men's open block. Italy currently up 3-0. They are the defending champions, and they are looking like it right now as here is the second half sprint.
Yep, I've got to agree. The Italians have had a great first half. They've put themselves, almost guaranteed themselves a place in the final already, and they have looked so confident, so cool, so comfortable. French get the first play of the half underway, and this is where they need to put a marker down. They need to score here to give themselves a chance. They're not going to get a rush of goals against this Italian team. They need to do it bit by bit. A very set play here. They'll have called this at the half time. This is how we're going to get this first goal, and they've got to make it pay. 25 seconds on the shot clock, resetting themselves. 2 men working inside, 3 on the outside, and committing forward now. Oh, that was a missed catch. That way you could see the play there was going for 9. He would have taken a shot if he could have got clean possession of that ball. Just through his hands. And a foul in the turnover scrabble. And the Italians in no hurry to do anything. Timeout called by the referee. Just recovering and getting the game underway. I think we're going to see the Italians just creeping as much time off the clock as opportunities come for them to do that. They'll run 20 seconds off this shot clock before they even think about really starting their play. And it's going to fall to the French to turn this round. At some point they will just start to press. They've got nothing to lose here. They can win, or if they lose this by 3 or by 33, they're still out of the final. They have to find some way of winning this. A mobile Bellini blocked down. One threat finishes. The Italians covering back, and they've got a man-for-man press going on. There you go. That would be the tactic you would think the French would have to use here, so the Italians are doing it to them, forcing the French to shoot an open goal, and that could have been an opportunity for them, but it's gone. And I'm a little surprised to see the French team dropping back to a defence. We all know the Italians of old. They're tactically very shrewd. They will waste 20, 30 seconds of the shot clock before they execute a play now. And as that clock comes down, life gets harder and harder for the French.
And like you said, point differential doesn't mean anything, so it gives more the reason for Italy to take as much time as they can off the clock.
Yes. And also, to a certain extent, they can have a rest. You can see this back line, they're doing nothing but just passing the ball back around. That's not taking anything out of their arms. They've got men inside fighting with French players, but it's not Bertoloni, it's not Bellini, it's not their big players they want for the final. They've just got guys who are in there, and these guys are so fit. They'll do 10 minutes work, have a beer, and have a drink. Sorry, they won't have a beer, that's for sure, and they'll be good to go in the final. Awesome. Just awesome. I mean, that kind of thing from Gianmarco Emanuele will just be a nail in the coffin of the French, because he got a bit of space in there. He's a fast player. He's got fast arms, and that was a fast shot. It was fantastic. Right in the middle of the goal, beating the French goalkeeper. Incredible thing to do. And at 4-0 now, the French team with a mountain to climb. They will have to press right from the next loss of possession. If they don't do that, they really don't give themselves any kind of chance at all.
France going to have to reset. Italy really not putting much pressure on the perimeter players, really just focusing more to defend the inside underneath the goal.
And that line of 3 that they execute so well stood them in good stead so far, and I just can't see how the French are going to score 4 goals past them. There we go. Very confident French now, and I'm surprised number 6 for France is coming off to substitute. I'm guessing they want to execute a full press, and they've got a preferred team to do that with. They've brought that onto the field, and I'm guessing that we're going to see for 6 minutes the French doing this. It's the only opportunity they have is to press them toe to toe, kayaking battle now. Who can make enough space? Who can make it no mistakes? And at the moment the Italians are looking confident to deliver that. 40 seconds on the shot clock. They'll just keep passing the ball around. And even if they lose a shot clock penalty by holding the ball too long, not too much concern for them at this stage.
But it works as France gets possession here, and now an opportunity to push forward.
Yeah. But again, the Italians are dropping back to defend. They're going to really struggle here. They need to score quickly. And a penalty given by referee Martin Roll on the far side. A fairly heavy kayak tackle. This could be the window of opportunity. Green card. Luca Bellini, the captain, gets a green card for the illegal tackle. A big hit on the French player. He's down. Baptiste Cotta for France. Looks like he's going to have to substitute. That's a pity because he is one of their quick men, one of the people they would want on the pitch for a 5-man press. Assuming they convert this penalty, score will go to 4-1, and they will see that as a window of opportunity at least to get back into this game. They're going to have to keep pressing. The clock is going to be working against them once they get the ball back.
We're just about to hit the halfway point of this second half. 4-1 now in favor of Italy. France finally started that press. They got the turnover, the foul, resulting in their first goal. So maybe something that France can build on here.
Yes, they've given themselves a chance now. They're still going to have to go for it, but they've given themselves a chance for sure. And again, from the French point of view, they just need to get this game tied and into overtime. That's the first target. And again, not surprisingly, the Italians just happy to just wind a bit of time off the clock. Every couple of seconds they take off the clock just ratchets up the pressure on the French. Not almost casual paddles into the defence. French players doing all the work, and the Italians just trying to do the minimum required, and now the French are out. That's the only risk to doing that. The French have driven out now beautifully, and a loose ball, but picked up by Bellini. When you think he's lost it, no, ball's back in his hands, and he's making something happen for his team. Now this is the kayaking battle we love to see. Pressing out, Italy working hard, and the French trying to get the ball. There's been a foul there, holding a fence, probably paddled off a boat or pulled off a player, and the French have got a chance now. They're up in front of the Italian goal. They need to score before this defence gets set. Now forced to recycle it, and they'll lose a little time off the clock.
Currently the score 4-1 in favor of Italy.
Yeah, and a little under 4 minutes to play. Oh, again over the top. This is going to haunt them in the end because that ball is long gone.
Just more
French
time.
pressing. Yeah, the French pressing. As we would expect, they'll try and find a way of pumping the ball up to Luca Bellini in the half. And yeah, he's been allowed to make that pass. Bellini here just riding this. That is so much work. Benno Richter there for France, just being forced to drive Bellini forwards. And French ball again. So they are making the turnovers, but they've got to convert it into goals.
And that goal earlier in this second half by Gianmarco Emanuele, looking like it could be a difference maker. If it was 3-1 right now, we would feel maybe France a little bit more hope, but instead that goal by Emanuele making it a little bit more difficult for France to make that comeback.
It has just made it look too far. 4-1 now, as you say, it's a mountain to climb, and we've got 3 minutes remaining. The French are turning over possession quite successfully on the press, but just can't convert it into goals.
And that's a credit to the Italian defense that you mentioned has improved over the years.
Once they get back, every defence is beatable, but they are just looking so strong when they get there, and the French are not finding a way through it. That kind of passing, fantastic. And they create an opportunity in front. The defence lets the ball through, but the goalkeeper is there and having a great day too. Very hard for France to score a significant number of goals, I think.
That's Andrea Romano for Italy. He's been the goalkeeper this entire game, and he's been fantastic for them, keeping this deficit almost feeling like it's insurmountable for this French team.
Well, and as the clock winds down, they'll start to feel that. They can still believe. At 2:40 to go, they can still believe. And he is having the entire Italian team's having an outstanding game, like their women did in the previous one. They really seem to have found a vein of form, and I'm sure one team buoys the other. You know, if your men's team's playing well and your women's team will play better, if your women's team's playing well, it just lifts everybody. The whole camp for them must be feeling good. Their under-21 men had a good day yesterday, not getting into the final, but playing really well. And I think the Italian camp is in a good place.
I think so as well. As time continues to wind down here, the hope for France to make a comeback, feeling almost like it's impossible.
Yeah.
They're just playing keep away right now.
And
is this Italian
Bertoloni,
team.
just beautiful. These French paddlers are absolutely brilliant kayakers, and Bertoloni just paddled away from him there, coming back to his own court just to make a pass available and to keep the ball clean.
And there's almost at times where you see France looking like they're working so hard to turn over possession, and sometimes it looks almost too easy for this Italian team.
And the French have had to concede a foul there. That resets the clock, another minute. The Italian line here, they look so confident.
And they should be confident. They've yet to lose in this tournament. They drew once, but this will be their 8th win.
Yeah, and I think we can start calling it like that as we come down towards a minute remaining. Just not enough time for the French to score. They'll keep battling to the end, but now it must be just feeling about tired arms. Remember, the loser of this match that looks like being France goes to a bronze medal game, so they need to save a little bit of something in the tank, because this will be hard work. Chasing a game like this takes an awful lot out of you. It doesn't matter how fit and strong you are. You have to work and work and work, and it does drain the energy. And it's hot here, pushing 30 degrees.
And you also have to bring up the fact that this is late in this tournament. They've played a succession of games almost every single day, so as every day passes, maybe a little bit less in you when the day starts.
Yep, for sure. And the games get harder and harder. And there won't be an easy final for them, that's for sure. Somebody will battle all the way. But we're down into the last minute, 30 seconds to go. Italy going to see out this game. I'm going to see it out with a little bit of style, just passing the ball, keeping it away from the French. A mistake now wouldn't hurt them particularly much, but they clearly want to keep in the driving seat. French turnover. No, sorry, my mistake. Italian turnover. A holding offence, and now the time will just drift out. I think there's about 12 seconds remaining. Italy really got nothing to worry about now.
And an extremely impressive win by this Italian team. France, they are no slouch. They are one of the best teams in this tournament.
Yeah.
And to win the way they did.
Yeah, it's looking, particularly down through the second half, the Italians have looked really confident that they're going to win this game, and they have. And that would have been just the icing on the cake, a little flick pass from Luca Bellini to set up a final goal, but not to be. Doesn't really matter. Helmets off, and they're through to another final. So the current world champions, Italy, take their place in the final of the 2018 ICF World Canoe Polo Championships, and the next game will determine who joins them there.
It's going to be Spain and Germany up next. We'll see you there for the second semifinals game.
Disappointed with that result, but also a lot of positive signs for their future with several young players coming into this team from the under-21 system. So not all doom and gloom for them, and still a chance to go home with a medal.
Pit 1. Final day, senior men, senior women. Great game. They shake hands, congratulate each other. stands, and again, your applause very well appreciated. Well underway, and boy, it's getting hot. I think you may want to check. I think we do have some iced coffee on tap over at the Canoe Winery tent, the black tent. I believe he's got his ice on tap. Some iced coffee if you want to cool off. Next game on tap, pitch number 1. We have a semi-final action. And no doubt this will be a great game between Spain, senior men, and Germany. Also elsewhere in pitch number 2, classifying around 15 to 18 between Japan, Japanese men, and Canada. Also pitch number 3 on the outside, senior men division, Portugal, Sweden, classifying 15 to 18. And again on the outside, pitch number 4, senior Australian women, and Japan, classifying 15 to 16. But again, next on pitch number 1, in front of the viewing stand, we have again semi-final. Senior men, Spain up against Germany. And we'll be officially starting at about 9:45 in about 4 minutes. Take the time to stretch your legs, and again, check to see over at the Compliment tent, winery tent, we may have iced coffee on tap. Bar will be open for beer and wine at about 11 o'clock, as in previous days. And again, critically important that here in Welland, of course, at the Flatwater Center, safety is our number 1 concern today. So again, I just want to alert you to the medical tent if you've just arrived on site. If you're brand new coming in, I know we have some fans coming in from Toronto, from Niagara-on-the-Lake, from Hamilton, enjoying the spectacular holiday weekend, civic holiday weekend here in Ontario. Monday, of course, will be a civic holiday. Many people off work. And certainly enjoying Sunday down here at the Flatwater Center. Of course, the hydration is critically important, so stay well hydrated. Washrooms are open, plenty of water. And we'll have the heart stop at about 11 o'clock, but our medical facility, of course, very much open for business, not only for our athletes, but for any of our volunteers, any of our fans. If we have any issues at all, and of course, we do have a lot of families here, lots of toddlers, I know, are here, so please keep an eye on the young ones. If you have, if your canine friends, a few pooches here wandering around yesterday, make sure that they stay leashed. But certainly keep an eye on your toddlers, and of course make sure they're well hydrated. It's very warm today. Yep. Easily the hottest day on many levels as we get into senior men action, senior women action here at the Flatwater Center. High of 33 degrees. Humidix well into the 40s today on the Fahrenheit scale, well into the 90s. Again, you need to stay well hydrated. So. And of course, many people sporting good idea, wide brimmed hats and numerous umbrellas spotted in the stands. Things begin to heat up. Officially 9:43 shoot. Getting the game underway in about 2 minutes. Again, semi-final between Spain and Germany.
Yep, 1 second.
And again, it was very still. The canal was like a pond this morning. Not much in the way of wind. We are getting a nice breeze. If you look up at the flags, the breeze keeping people nice and cool, so do enjoy it. And once again, calling the action. One of our 3 superstars calling the action today. And all the way from Great Britain. And again, he's won many tournaments around the world. Senior coach.
Okay, yeah.
Senior referee.
Blue shorts.
And enjoying his stay in Welland. Good morning to Mr. Curly Barker.
Good morning, Tony. I'm good to be outside. Been doing a bit of work inside the pushing out into the sun. And it's good to join you out here for what is sure to be an exciting game. Germany-Spain. Spain, current European champions. Germans, current World Games champions. These two teams didn't make the final in Syracuse 2 years ago. One of them will be making the final here in Welland. And the next 25 minutes or so will determine which one goes to join Italy in the grand final, and which of these teams is disappointed to go and join France in the bronze medal game. The referee's just calling the teams together for the traditional exchange of gifts.
And a reminder once again, all the games are being live streamed as we speak, and a huge shout out to the team from Niagara College, handling a lot of the technical audiovisual paraphernalia. They've done a great job over the last 5 days.
Not the. Okay, sure.
And an absolute classic moment in Canoe Polo, the two captains, Jonas Viren for Germany and Vincente Caramonte for Spain, exchanging gifts, shaking hands, wishing each other luck, just to not too much luck, I guess. And then back to their respective goal lines for the charge start that begins every Canoe Polo game. One player from each team making a sprint for the ball.
Hello and welcome back to the ICF World Canoe Polo Championships. We have semifinals for action for you. The winner here goes to face Italy. It's Germany versus Spain, and the sprint is about to get on their way.
Germany will be coming out firing this game. A lot of emotion in this game. Germany's really been the crowd favourite for some recent tragedy in their team, and it's really brought them together well. Spain, though, current European champions, and I expect a very, very physical game.
See right off the bat there's a physical sprint.
Straight away, a very, very physical sprint.
Right on cue, and Germany gets the ball, and they'll grab first possession here. Tough loss to Italy yesterday. The game didn't mean so much, but they lost 4-3 in a tight one against Italy, and we'll see if there's a rematch in the next round. But Spain's not going to go down without a fight, that's for sure.
No, absolutely not. Very, very experienced teams. The German men in particular have a very proud history in canoe polo. Right from the first World Championships in 1994, they've actually won the silver medal 5 times, but they've never claimed the gold medal. So they'll be pushing very, very hard to get into the grand final for a shot at that world title that they've been chasing.
They'd definitely love to rewrite the script. We're going to have to get through Spain first, however, and Spaniards backed up in their own zone to start off the half here. We'll see if Germany can attack. Looking to get inside. Fake shot. Good cut off there by the Germans, and it will go, by the Spaniards, and it will go back the other way.
Yeah, offensive foul there by the Germans. The drive from the top, just the momentum carried him onto the goalkeeper and moved the goalkeepers. So it becomes a free shot to the Spanish team, and they'll go in to have their first attack of this game.
Spanish like to take their time on offense and find the best shot possible. Now they're coming from the right side, can't handle the pass. Great defense there by the Germans. Gonna head back down the.
Equally good scrambling effort by the Spanish player to get the ball, but he in turn has turned it over, and Julian Pressure, it looks like he's going to pick up the ball for Germany, and we'll go back into attack for the German.
Like you said at the start of the game, it's going to be very physical and right there. The refs letting them play too. It's always a good sign.
Yeah, so the referees will let most things go as long as it's safe, it's not too dangerous, or it's not too deliberate. So it's a fine line, especially when you've got players this size, and that is a fantastic shot there for the Germans.
Jonas Viren, the captain, puts it in for the Germans, giving them a 1-0 lead almost 2.5 minutes into this game.
And the referee's taking this brief break in play to award a couple of green cards there to the Spanish players. Looks like number 8 from Spain, the Spanish captain, has been given a green card, just to get him to calm down a bit, control his play a bit more. You'll see two contrasting styles of defence here between the Germans and Spanish too. The Germans will sit in a, if you like, a traditional 1-3-1 zone, with one player on the top and 3 defenders in the line, whereas the Spanish are tending to use a flat 4, so all 4 players in a flat formation, which then collapses down to protect the goalkeeper.
It's going to be tough to get it through this German defense, let alone their goaltender, Robert Pest, known as a great goaltender and a great striker as well on the offensive end.
Yeah, and an offensive foul there by the Spanish trying to get through the German players. And you see the ball movement of the Germans going straight into attack before the Spanish get set.
Beautiful play and nice save there by the captain of Spain.
Really good counter-attack by the Germans, getting a corner. They'll now go to work on this Spanish zone.
The Germans are so good at getting a defensive stop and going down the other end of the pitch really quick and getting a nice transition opportunity there.
Absolutely. Got one of the most experienced and best goalkeepers in the world in Robert Pest. Been around for a long time. Very, very solid in his role and critical to the German team's success. Likewise, at the other end of the field, some very, very powerful, strong shooters. Jonas Veron with the ball. Robert Pest also has an exceptional shot as a goalkeeper, and it's critical that the goalkeepers also can shoot in this game. It's not like soccer where the goalkeepers, or football, that the keepers stay in the net the whole time. Goalkeepers are very, very critical to the offensive patterns that these teams will use.
And here comes Germany from the left side of the pitch here. Throw it back inside. Good defense by Spain, but another cut off there, and Pest will take it back up top and reset the offense here for the Germans. Oh, nice pass inside. Great opportunity, and they score. Nice shot there by Marco Hopstock, putting it in for the Germans, giving them a 2-0 lead here, nearly halfway through the first half.
And Marco's one of the newer players of this team. He's a bit younger than some, and he's come up through the very successful under-21 German team. Slotted in very nicely into this team. Exceptional boat skills and shooting ability. So Germany now really comfortable at 2-0 with 5.5 minutes still to go in the first half. They'll be able to be very patient from now on, and Spain are going to have to do something quickly and change things up to get back in the game.
See if Spain can answer here against that tough defense of the Germans. Back inside. Golden opportunity here for Spain. Pressing. Once again, they have to reset, and there's the cutter on the right side. They gain possession. There's a whistle on the play here.
Just a minor foul by the German defender. He's reached over his opponent's kayak and contacted his hand as he was trying to pass the ball, so it's a free shot in close to the goals.
Oh, near opportunity there for Spain, going off the crossbar there.
Again, Robert Pest got the deflection on that to force it onto the bar, so he's you don't have to totally block the ball. Just those minor deflections are going to be enough to keep Germany right well on top in this game.
Trying to throw it back in the middle, cannot, and it will go back to the Germans as it went off one of the Spaniards. Let's see if the Germans can counterattack here. They got a couple substitutions coming on to the pitch.
So you can see Spain recognising the importance of the semi-final. They've jumped straight out to man-on-man, being 2-0 down. And this is going to get frantic here with some very big, powerful men paddling around. Long shot, fantastic
beautiful
long shot
goal
there by Julian Pressure. Again, a newer player in this German team, took the opportunity at the open goal and made no mistake from out near halfway.
The beautiful shot, and like that, Spain playing that full press. It's a good strategy, but it also is a very risky strategy as you have no goaltender back there. But it paid off there for the Germans.
That's right, and especially when you're leading like the Germans are, you can afford to be quite patient with that man-on-man defence, and you can work the ball up the field. On that occasion, the Germans took the opportunity and took the shot very, very early on because the player was wide open.
Spain needs to score here before the half. Give them a little momentum. They're already in a big hole. They got to dig themselves out of it. Not the position they wanted to be in this first half.
Oh, absolutely not. And Germany will have the luxury of being able to sit right back and just collapse around the goalkeeper and get their paddles in the way of the shots, as they've done there.
Beautiful stop by the Germans, but Spain will be rewarded a corner off that shot, and the shot clock will reset. See if the Spaniards here can perhaps muster up an offensive play here and get on the board. Right side of the pitch, back in the middle. No shot coming. Once again, great defense by the Germans.
Yeah, they're really shutting down the inside runs into the danger zone or the high percentage shooting zone.
Nice contact there.
Big, solid boat contact. Very, very clean and fair at the moment. And that's been a real trademark of the German men in recent years, is how physical but fair they are.
Spain got a little position inside, but once again, a defensive stop.
Having said that, they've just given away a goal penalty shot for a paddle foul on the shooter, right in on the goalkeeper's nose. Really good ball movement from Spain. Got it inside the zone, and the defender just stepped over the mark with his paddle.
Not a smart play there from the Germans. Now they're going to potentially cut the lead to just 2 goals here. This is huge for Spain as we wind down the clock in the first half. And make no mistake about it, they score. Beautiful shot there by Gordo Herrero.
You'll probably find also the Germans the player concerned will have got a green card there for the use of the paddle. So he'll have to be very, very careful for the rest of the game, because the last thing he wants to do is earn a yellow card for a repeat of those paddle fouls.
And then we're back on. Let's see if the Germans can respond and regain that 2-goal lead here. Little mix-up with the scorers table now. It's reading 4-0 for the Germans, but make no mistake about it, it is 3-1 now. Germany over Spain so far. Inside. Nice cut, nice ball movement here by the Germans.
Again, they're still leading by 2 goals, so they can afford to be patient. The Germans, they'll try and get 2 or 3 attacks onto the Spanish zone in their minute of the shot clock.
Here's the striker pass, but he plays it back out smartly, and they're going to recycle that offensive play. Nice play there by the Spaniards.
Lucas Richter did just the illegal hand tackle onto an opponent's kite, deemed to be dangerous by the referee, so they've called that. So that'll reset the shot clock for the Germans, which they'll be more than happy with. They'll just keep being patient here, work for an open shot. Spain will have to come out to him again at some stage to try and keep coming back into the game.
Shot there by Pes. Great save by the Spaniards, and that keeps them in this game. Could have been back in that 2-goal deficit there. Sorry, the 3-goal deficit. They definitely don't want to be in. Germans have really had most time of possession here in this half and taking control of this game.
It's just going to be a timeout here while the referees correct the score on the clock. It's actually 3-1, not 4-0 that the clock is showing. So it'll be a slight break here where the players will wait for the correction. And Spain taking this opportunity to change the defensive structure. And they've jumped straight out to one-on-one play to try and get another turnover from the Germans.
Yeah, you see the pressure on once again by the Spaniards. And see if this can lead to a goal. Good ball denial there by the veteran Robert Pest.
Germans will be very patient. They'll be more than happy to run down a minute on the clock. They'll maintain possession. You'll see they're going to do a substitution here to bring on a fresh player. But they'll keep the ball for as long as they can, working for a high percentage shot. You'll see Robert Pest has got away from his player right now. And a long ball up to Jonas Verren, the German captain. Again, being very patient. Slight deflection there by the Spanish defender, but a foul's been called for the paddle. So another 60 seconds on the shot clock.
Oh, beautiful strike.
And a beautiful, again, Marco Hopstock with a long shot there at the open goal to really consolidate this lead.
Adding a second there, catching the Spaniards sleeping a bit, and that's a big-time goal heading into the half. Let's see if Spain could get perhaps one shot off here. Final 10 seconds. Bring it back within 2. Time's not on their side here. They need a shoot. They do, and it's stopped. And that'll be the final score at the half. 4-1, Germany leads Spain. Let's see if Spain can turn around in the second half or if Germany can put them away.
bring their thoughts to the table. I'm pretty sure the German coach will be confident and happy. Keep this ticking over. Spanish coach seeking some inspiration. Good luck to them both. And as the half-time break draws to a close, these two athletic teams will line back up for another charge start and another 10 minutes to finally decide who joins Italy in the grand final, the gold medal match that will complete these ICF World Championships.
Welcome back to the second half, the ICF World Canoe Championships semi-final action, men's division, Spain versus Germany. Germany currently up 4-1, and they got a late goal there in the first half to give the momentum into the second, but let's see if Spain can respond here. It's a big deficit to come back from, against this, especially against this powerhouse of a team, Germany. Their defense is so good. It's hard for me to see Spain scoring 3 goals here, but we'll see what happens. Again, a physical confrontation there on the sprint, and Spain will come away with it.
Yeah, a big charge there. Lucas Richter good enough to get down underneath. And Germans will go into attack once again. Spain have chosen straight away to stay man-on-man or 5 out, trying to force the turnovers. So there's going to be a lot of people in Germany and Spain watching this game. And Germany right now way too strong.
Oh, another strike
another
there. Beautiful.
Well-worked opportunity there from the 5 out. Got away from his player by Leonard Unterfield and made no mistake at the finish, even though the Spanish keeper had dropped into goals.
That adds insult to injury right there at the start of the half. That's definitely not the start the Spaniards wanted here. Early on, their press working against them. A golden opportunity for Germany, and they capitalize on it. Spain attacking quick now. They're going to have to. The clock is definitely not on their side anymore.
Yeah, just a paddle foul there by the German player, and then
a lot of words going. A lot of words.
Bit of emotion in this game right at this minute between the German captain and one of the Spanish players after it appeared that a paddle was thrown away. But the referee's just letting things calm down and positioning the Spanish player for the free shot, and just trying to take the heat out of the game, and we'll restart with a whistle once they're positioned correctly.
Nice drop-off pass, and another big save there by the Germans. A lot of talk happening with the refs now and between the players and the refs. Both teams not so happy with the calls that are being had here. And big physical confrontation down low, fighting for position.
Yeah, you can see the German defenders have collapsed right down onto Robert Prest's nose to try and make the maximum number of paddles to assist him. The Spanish players were appealing for a penalty there because it was a paddle foul on the player in the act of shooting. So the German captains, well, the umpires called both captains over, I think, just to get both teams to calm down.
Perhaps a smart play here by the ref.
Especially in such a critical game, the last thing we want to see is for it to get out of control. So the referees are going to get control back and just tell both teams to calm right down and let's have a good, solid game without overstepping the mark. Very, very physical work in on the zone. The Spanish attackers certainly not holding anything back, trying to out-manoeuvre and out-position the German players. And even during timeout here, you can see they're still manoeuvring, trying to get the German defenders away from the centre of the goal.
Spanish captain still talking, still very frustrated. I think game will resume now. Spaniards with a golden opportunity here to cut the lead to 3. The game's finally back on. They pass it inside. Another great save by the Germans.
Excellent defence here by the Germans. They just got 2 or 3 paddles in front of that shot. And again, because they're so far in front, they can just afford to pick and choose now. And they'll wait for the best opportunities to score. Maybe start to conserve a little bit of energy for the final as we get into this half.
Germans on the attack now, once again. They would love to extend this lead a little bit more. Setting up from the left side of the pitch now. Comes the captain, he throws it in. Nice cross pitch pass. Robert Pest.
Yeah, you can see they're putting enough pressure on the Spanish defence to keep them at home in the zone, but they're taking the opportunity to wind the shot clock right down towards only got a few seconds left.
5 seconds
down to
now.
5 seconds. Oh, a paddle shot there by Hopstock, I think it was.
Little cheeky shot there.
Little cheeky shot. Would classify as a shot at goal, but unfortunately just below the bottom bar there. So
that would have been quite the goal.
Would have been quite spectacular for everyone watching at home. So again, players are highly skilled with their paddles, and it's not unusual to see the paddle passes or shots. Obviously, players will have their dominant shots, but the shot variation is really critical in these big games.
Oh, nice touch pass there. Spaniards still can't find a lane in there or an open shot. Shoots. Once again, the saves by the Germans. Their defense coming up strong once again.
Really strong defence by the Germans and an excellent time to substitute as well. Nice little behind the back pass there by Lucas Richter. Germans taking the opportunity to get fresh players on the field. Been doing some serious work in the zone there, so they'll try and keep the rotations high to maintain fresh players. And now they go into attack and they'll just patiently work the ball around and take another minute off the clock and make it even harder for Spain to get back into this game.
Textbook offensive possession here from the Germans. Like you said, they have a comfortable lead here. No need to rush into anything. Take that minute off. And now there's only 15 seconds left on the clock. Start to attack now. Nice extra pass. Try to go one more there.
Nice cross pass, just deflected by the Spanish defenders. So Spain are going to get the ball and go into attack here and try and get one goal back.
A lot of space on the pitch. Maybe a little too strong on that pass there. That's going to force Spain to reset and end that transition opportunity. Back in the middle now. No shot once again, and it's hit off the paddle.
Good defence by the Germans again. They've collapsed right down onto the keeper's nose. Been very careful not to overset the mark with their paddles at the moment.
Getting backed up now. Spain will finally reset here. Shot clock did not reset, however. About 20 seconds left on it. And there will be a foul, and the Germans will take it back the other way.
Pass just went wide there for the Spanish men. Germans into attack again. Goalkeeper doesn't have time to drop.
Oh, they try to float it in. No good.
Gets a good block there, but the Germans are going to get the ball back here with a corner. With 5 minutes to go, leading 5-1, I think they'll just keep being patient. Spain are going to, they've actually dropped the keeper. So they've gone into a more traditional defence.
No rush here for the Germans. Like you said, under halfway left in this period. They can smell the finals already.
Yeah, they'll well and truly try and consolidate this victory now. And they will have another shot at the gold medal that's eluded them so far. Very big canoe polo nation with a lot of players. Fantastic depth, really good results at under 21 and senior level. But despite winning the World Games twice, the gold medal at the World Championships is still the big prize that the German men haven't taken. So lovely inside ball there.
It definitely won't be an easy task, though, in the next round against the Italians. They're going to have to give it their all. Yesterday coming off a tight loss against them. Maybe perhaps the Germans later today can find a way. And like you said, they got some extra motivation coming into this tournament. An unfortunate tragedy happened to the team. But if there's ever a year for the Germans to get it, it's definitely this year. They've looked pretty powerful on both ends of the floor, both ends of the pitch, I should say.
And again, taking the opportunity to get fresh paddlers on while Spain are on 5 out. Spain have been very quick to change their tactics here and have done everything they can to win the game. And even there, you can see, never gave up on that chase and were very careful not to foul and give away a certain goal. So they've got the ball coming back into attack, and they've actually got a player overlap because the German player's just retrieving his paddle. So
Spain now, if there's ever an opportunity with a man down.
Really good inside ball there. Good pressure coming from the Germans, and the shot just goes under the bottom bar there with another good block by Robert Pest and his German teammates in the zone.
Now just about 3 minutes left in this final period. Winding down, still 5-1 for the Germans. Perhaps an insurmountable lead. Still is time, but it's tough to say against this German squad. But Spain now on the attack. They shoot another paddle up for the Germans. Textbook defense once again here.
Yeah, really good control, and probably the clear difference in this game has been the control by the German players. When they've got the ball, they've made the most of every opportunity, took that early lead, and have been able to be patient for the rest of the game. Again, lots of rotations to keep fresh players on the field, making it even harder for the Spanish defenders because they don't get the break while the Germans are substituting.
That's one-on-one with Robert Pest down here.
Robert Pest is a big man for the Spanish defender to try and move around.
Just beautifully done here with the keep-away game.
Again, the Germans taking every opportunity just to wind the clock down. They'll probably get it up the field with about 10 seconds left on the shot clock and look for the open goal or the ball in, and that's a beautiful ball.
Oh, can they handle it?
Just millimetres too long there for Underfield to handle. That would have been a spectacular goal if they pulled that off.
Now the Spaniards not wasting any time, getting up right down the pitch. Trying to look for a quick goal here. About 90 seconds left in the game. Pass over to the right side.
Again, another good defensive block by the Germans. And they've got the player away here. This will
pretty much do
opportunity.
It. This will be the icing on the cake here. And that'll just about do it. 6-1 reads the scoreboard now. About 1:10 left in the game.
Another breakaway goal there by Marco Hopstock. I think that's his third for this game.
It's a hat-trick now.
He's got the hat-trick. And Germans very much celebrating this. This will be a very emotional victory for them to take them into the final. And it'll be interesting to see if that emotion carries them through to win the game against Italy, because Italy are obviously defending the World Championships. Germany have never won one, so they'll be wanting to spoil that party.
And Italy's looked pretty good so far in this tournament. They just came off a pretty comfortable win against France, 4-1. was the final. I shouldn't say comfortable. It was a very tough game, but Italy definitely knows how to put it in the back of the net. Oh, near goal, and they will count that as a goal as it did cross the line.
Did go just far enough in. The linesman, who himself is an experienced referee, very quick on that, raising the flag. And Robert Pest won't be happy with that. It's cost him the clean sheet, I think. But it won't make any difference to the final result of this game.
A little too late for the Spanish to come in with these goals, but expect Germany just to play it out now as the shot clock has been turned off, and goal differential obviously doesn't matter anymore in these semifinal rounds. You just need a win and you're in, and that's exactly what Germany did. They came in taking care of business.
Maybe one last opportunity here for Spain with a turnover, big push tackle onto the Spanish player, looking for the ball inside. But again, the German player right there.
Flipped off his kite, nearly out of bounds. Oh, great pass, and another paddle save there.
Lucas Richter's, and an excellent save by Jonas Veron right on the line. Great scrambling defence by the Germans. They'll certainly need that against the Italians in the final. But a very, very good outcome for the German men's team.
And that'll do it.
So
6-2, the Germans will head to the finals. Despite a lot of talk and a lot of controversy in the game, they're hugging it out. Great sportsmanship at the end of this game. Final score, 6-2. Germany's heading to the finals against Italy later today.
This afternoon, the gold medal match between Italy and Germany. The senior men, and again, just a quick heads up, that game will be taking place 4:20. And fight for bronze between Spain and France. Again, that big heads up, that game will be taking place 3 o'clock this afternoon if you're planning your afternoon schedule. And again, if you just arrived here on site, and again, a warm welcome. And if this is your first day arriving here on site to the 2018 ICF Canoe Polo World Championship, you are indeed getting the hottest day in more ways than one. Senior men's and women. And today. And again, the hottest day, getting a nice breeze, 33 degrees, heading up to humidity well up into the 40s. And again, just a big shout out to our medical team out and about here, out on the venue, out on our respective pitches, and of course the main medical area underneath the main building. So again, I've worked on a number of events here, dragon boating in the past, and I have seen the effects of dehydration. This can happen. Seen this happen to any number of players. So again, it's critically important you stay well hydrated. I don't have to tell you, but especially for our fans. And we do have a number of families, as I mentioned, with their toddlers, so make sure you keep an eye on them. They do tend to wander, and make sure they still stay well hydrated. We are getting a nice breeze, but again, the heat. We are into a bit of a, according to the Weather Network, we are into a heat alert here in southern Ontario. So it's a warm one. Make sure you have plenty of sunscreen, and again, get plenty of water inside. 10:21, and we have coming up on pitch 1. Classifying 5 to 8, New Zealand, senior women up against Switzerland.
Welcome back to the 2018 ICF Canoe Polo World Championships here at the Welland International Flatwater Center. This is classification for 5 through 8. It is Switzerland and it is the Netherlands, or I should say New Zealand. And here's the opening sprint between this women's open block.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this game. These are two teams that unfortunately just did not make the cut for that semifinal, but two very strong teams. New Zealand always strong in this tournament, and Switzerland continue to climb up the rankings and hoping to get the best result possible. 5th place would be a big step for that Switzerland team.
For New Zealand, they were just edged out of the semifinals. Italy and France advanced. New Zealand lost earlier today to the Italians, so a little frustration maybe for New Zealand going into this game. They maybe had higher expectations, but they still should move forward. An opportunity at the 5th place game.
Absolutely.
This is the Swiss's first attack of this game.
The Swiss, I had the opportunity to call them just earlier this morning. They did fall to France. Again, I'm sure the Swiss wanted to have a little bit more out of that game. They kind of just relaxed at the end, kind of out of it. But expect the Swiss to have a very high-powered attack. They have a lot of heavy shooters on that right side. This is one of them, Nina Lugenbuhl. Expect her to really bolster that Swiss offense. She is the captain of this team, and so expect her to really lead this team. She is a great leader. I was talking to a few of the fans, and she said, yeah, she is one of those selfish players who will have a great shot, but also not a problem sharing the ball.
And when you're facing a team like New Zealand, I would say the Swiss are the underdogs in this game. Sometimes you have to move the ball around. As many players that can get hot and play well in a game when you're the underdog is the best outcome for you, as New Zealand takes a shot that's number 6, Catherine Bolton, and it will go out of bounds, and it will be the Swiss who will go on the attack.
Like I was saying before, the Swiss really did want to do a little bit better, but already guaranteeing a better spot than they did 2 years ago in Italy. They got 9th place. The worst they can do now is 8th place. Again, like I said, they're just slowly climbing up the ranks, and hopefully we can see them even maybe press for that medal spot next year. They're slowly getting better and better, and I wouldn't doubt them getting out of semifinals in just a few years.
Especially if they win this game, moving from, you said 9th to maybe 5th place would be huge for this Swiss team. So far, still scoreless in this game. Around 7:30 remains in this first half. New Zealand finished the championship group stagings 3-0-2 for the Swiss, 1-1-3. A shot off the post there. That was once again Catherine Bolton. She's been taking a couple shots. It was interesting, the Swiss on the other side though, a couple of long shots early in the shot clock. Not really trying to get into a set quickly.
No, and that's tough. And as you see right now, that 1-3-1 zone by Team Poland, now it's going to be a foul against the New Zealand players. But you see that 1-3-1 zone very often played, but eventually when you do fall, you go to that 2-2 zone. I was talking with actually Duncan a couple of games ago, and he says, yeah, when you do that 2-2, it's more aggressive. So we'll see if one team does try and go for a more aggressive approach. I'm sure New Zealand might go to that. They're more commonly going to that 2-2 zone. We saw that a lot with the U21 women's. Maybe that teach that early and go to this zone as the seniors, but we'll see how that plays out early on or later on in this game.
And one interesting thing you're mentioning being aggressive, it seems when a team feels like maybe they are the more talented team, they are the favorite, they tend to get a little bit more aggressive because they feel like even if they slip up on the defensive side, they'll still be able to make up for it. And New Zealand will now gain possession off of a turnover from the Swiss, and they push it all the way down the pitch here. A 2-on-1 in front of the net. Good look, and that is the first goal of this game. Gemma Pataka for New Zealand gives them the first goal.
And that was an aggressive play by New Zealand. Really great counterattack by New Zealand. Going down that right side, and like you said, Gemma Pataka with that goal. Going down the left side, not guarded really, and getting that open shot on goal.
The Swiss will have an opportunity to respond, though, here. They're going to set up their offensive attack. New Zealand, no worries of defending the perimeter, only focusing on making sure the Swiss doesn't get anything on the interior.
As I mentioned before, number 2, Luganbull, now on that right side before. Now she's going to try and go against number 8. That was Pataka. Go against Winton before. See if she chooses one, maybe a weaker player that she chooses to go against. We'll see how that plays out in this game. We would know that Luganbull will try and get on the board for Swiss. Like I said, the leader of this team.
And for New Zealand, they have to be happy defensively right now. No shots really hitting the net. No deflections either. So the Swiss just missing. So not really making it difficult for New Zealand to defend currently in this game. This is for an opportunity to place 5th in this tournament. This is the women's open block here for the 2018 ICF Canoe Polo World Championships.
And you just saw that shot by Sophie Winton. It was a little bit farther out, so maybe because they're in this 5th, 8th game, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, but maybe not as much as the semifinal. You might not have seen that in the semifinal. You would have looked for a better shot, but because they're playing for a bit of a lower placement, maybe she's going to take a few risks, be a little more creative, taking those shots from distance. Expect to see that a lot more in this game.
And we were seeing that earlier on today, especially when you have these matchups in the championship group staging where you think you might be facing these teams later on in the tournament. Sometimes you don't want to give everything away, or sometimes you want to maybe try something new. And in a situation like this where, obviously, like you said, you want to place the highest possible, but New Zealand can maybe try a couple of different things here to see if maybe that can work and maybe push forward in their next game.
Absolutely.
New Zealand looking for their second. They scored around a minute ago, 4:20 left in this first half. The Swiss, the underdogs in this game, they've been getting better every single year. We'll see if they can place as high as they can. 5th is the most that either of these teams can place in this tournament.
It looked like that was an illegal contact to the goalkeeper against New Zealand. Shot that time, it was Jasmine Spangenberg going from distance, and like we said, maybe a little more loosely played, these two teams, after we know that they cannot go for that medal, but we'll see how this goes. Maybe more exciting here in the broadcast booth, maybe more shots played. We haven't seen a whole lot from the Swiss, but let's hope that we can get a little more of that in half number 2.
And for the Swiss, it feels like, I was thinking maybe before this game was played with New Zealand just getting edged out, this is not the classification area they wanted to be in. They wanted to play in the semifinals. I felt that that was maybe an opportunity for the Swiss to maybe catch New Zealand off guard. New Zealand instead having the early 1-0 lead. So things are going well for New Zealand, but the Swiss only down by 1.
And obviously you want to come out of this tournament with a high. You want to come out with a win. Obviously you want to come out with that gold medal, but obviously that's not going to happen for New Zealand. So if they can win their final game, maybe that's a positive. Win 5th place. There's nothing wrong with 5th place by any means. Maybe not to their standards, but 5th place coming into this tournament, a very competitive tournament. There's some good teams here. Italy, very strong. Germany, very strong. Spain, very strong. So coming out with 5th place, definitely nothing to be ashamed of here for New Zealand. But Swiss trying to steal that 5th place from them. Maybe the underdogs in this game, but you never know with the Swiss.
You mentioned Spain. They're going to be playing for the bronze medal game for the men's side. Women's side, Spain and the Netherlands currently playing on pitch 2 that is also in this 5 through 8 classification. So the winner of that matchup will be facing the winner of this matchup later on today. Nice shot there up front was Julie Bolton for New Zealand. Instead, possession will flip over to the Swiss, and they'll look to try to even this game out.
Nice see New Zealand on that press, trying to get the ball right back from the Swiss. You don't really see that very often in a 1-0 game, but maybe it's just because of a loose ball early on from the Swiss. But now Switzerland, having not really been able to set up an offense, now they will be able to. New Zealand retreats back. But that press attack, or press defense, I guess I should say, not very common early on in half number 1. Maybe if you're down 1 or 2, you use that later on in half number 2. We've seen that plenty of times, more common in the men's canoe polo, but we'll see how that goes. Switzerland may have to opt to that later on in half number 2.
And always the risk of playing that press is your net could end up being left wide open. New Zealand, they pressed for a little bit, but then once they started to feel like maybe they couldn't gain possession, they immediately went back, and they were able to play some good defense and get the ball. New Zealand pushing it down, looking for goal number 2 of this game. They scored the first with around 6 minutes on the game clock, now around a minute left, and it is still 1-0 in favor of New Zealand over the Swiss. Both of these teams looking to advance to the 5th place game later today, this afternoon at 1:15 p.m.
And that's going to be a great game. It's two teams that would have liked to go to the semifinals. These two teams, Switzerland, New Zealand, Spain, Netherlands, all strong teams. But that 5th place game, no matter who's in it, I'm really excited for.
On the other side there for Spain and the Netherlands, they didn't really have an opportunity to get to the semifinals as the championship group progressed. But the Dutch and Spain, always teams that you always have to look out for, same as New Zealand. The Swiss, like you mentioned, starting to progress throughout this tournament, getting better every single year. So it could really go to any of those 4 teams.
Absolutely, and I will keep an eye out on that Netherlands-Spain game. The Netherlands currently lead Spain by a score of 2-0, and we are about at the same spot in the game, just about a minute left in half number 1. But New Zealand, I think going into halftime, they wanted to come out with the lead, and they are coming out with the lead, maybe a little less than they were possibly hoping for. If you were Switzerland, you want to try and keep it to a 1-0 lead. You're down. You can get a quick goal later on in half number 2. If you can go into halftime just down 1 to this strong New Zealand team, you got to take that as a positive.
4 points separated both of these teams in terms of the championship group staging. Time running down. And that will be the end of this first half. It is 1-0 in favor of New Zealand.
Confusion on the pitch. It still looks like the scoreboard says 2.9 left. The coaches are ready to move sides, and it looks like that will do it. Ref will say halftime, still 2.9 seconds left, but nonetheless, the players are going to their corners, talk things over a little bit, and we will be back for half number 2 here at the Welland International Flatwater Center.
Okay, so the women starting to line up for the second half of this game. The winner of this game will go through to play for 5th or 6th place. The losers will play for 7 or 8.
And we're back here for the second half of this classification group. It is the Swiss and New Zealand looking to advance to the 5th place game. There must be a winner, so if this game is tied at the end of the second half, we will move on to overtime. It will be golden goal rules. So first goal would win the game, but currently it's 1-0 in favor of New Zealand.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I wasn't very impressed with that first half, a really slow half. Maybe the team's just feeling each other out. Hopefully half number 2 provides a little bit more offense. I really expected New Zealand to come out firing in half number 1. They didn't do so. 1-0 to score, but you never know. Half number 2 could surprise me. I really do want to see these teams get a little more aggressive now that they know the other team's defense. And for Switzerland, I don't know why you wouldn't be aggressive. You have really nothing to lose. You're already going to be guaranteed a better spot than what you did before, but maybe some of these teams, just their defense don't want to make a mistake and open this game up. I don't know, but we'll see how half number 2, we still got 9.5 left to go in half number 2. Hopefully we see a more offensive half in this game.
And maybe for New Zealand, we mentioned that maybe they're just a little deflated after coming up short in the championship group stage, as a nice shot there by the Swiss deflected out of bounds. They'll keep possession. And maybe another thing that we haven't really talked about yet, this is a long tournament, 5-6 days in now. Maybe fatigue will start coming into play, especially when the games mean a little bit less than the games you played previously. So we'll see maybe who has a little bit left in the tank here between these two teams.
Yeah, you mentioned those long days, and I'm going to add on to that. I'm going to say long, hot days. It's pretty cool here in the broadcast booth, but down here on pitch level, it feels like 37 degrees Celsius. Very hot, very long days, and it's been like that pretty much all week.
The Swiss look to get on the board there on their first attack of this second half, but now will be New Zealand moving over to the other side of the pitch. Number 6, Catherine Bolton with it, flipping it to the top. The Swiss's defense not really set right now.
No, I think they want to get in that 1-3-1 zone, and now they're going for more of a line, but just trying to suppress that New Zealand attack. It was, like you said, not really set up well. You would assume they want to go for that 1-3-1 zone. You don't really go 2-2 until you're down a few. But here they are, that 1-3-1 zone once again, trying to get that shot. Now with number 4, the captain of New Zealand, Aaron Moore.
Good look there on the inside, but instead once again deflected. And the ref is going to call another foul. It's going to be a free shot here for New Zealand to extend the lead.
Yeah, that was a illegal use of the paddle, it looks like, against number 1, Yasmin Spangenberg. Green card awarded, penalty shot here for New Zealand. 6 meters out, no mistake.
And that was Sion Fendel for New Zealand, making it 2-0. You mentioned that you want to see both of these teams get a little bit more aggressive. Swiss might have to now, being down 2 with around 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's quite desperation mode for Switzerland, but it's definitely getting pretty close. If they give up another, then it's definitely starting to get in that panic mode. But if you're the Swiss, maybe just feel out the clock. You got still 8 minutes left to go. Goals can come pretty quickly, although great shot that time. It was Zoe Mindek of the Swiss hitting the frame of the goal, trying to get them back into this game. But yeah, now they trying to get more aggressive. But like we said earlier, being aggressive, now you're susceptible to that counterattack.
And that was a great look, like you mentioned, by Zoe Mindek. Those are the shots you have to make, though, if you want to advance and be better in this tournament. We mentioned the Swiss have continuously improved throughout these tournaments, but it's plays like that where it really separates maybe a good team from a great team.
Absolutely, and you always want to be fine. You always want to get it just outside that paddle, hit the frame of the goal, and into the net that time just a little bit too fine, right off the pipe.
New Zealand 1 goal in the first, another goal here in the second, just edged out by France in the championship group stage. A little disappointment probably in these players, but instead they will try to play for 5th, and they're on their way to maybe that 5th place game. with a 2-goal lead, and now a 3-goal lead. That was Aaron Moore, the captain, extending it once again for New Zealand. It's starting to feel like this team that we expected New Zealand to be for this game. We're starting to see it here in the second half.
Yeah, and now it definitely has to be desperation time for the Swiss. New Zealand sitting comfortably at 3-0, and you have to know that they're fully expecting to win this game. I think they fully expected to win this game at the beginning. Swiss, the underdogs coming into the game, no doubt, but there's still lots of time on this clock, Joe.
Absolutely, still halfway to go here in this second half. I think something that we mentioned earlier on, that maybe just New Zealand didn't have a lot in them after just missing the semifinals. I think the Swiss really lost their opportunity to maybe take the lead early, but still lots of time left. 3-0. We've seen crazier things happen in this tournament so far this week.
Absolutely. But yeah, the Swiss down 1-0 at half. Like I said, coming into halftime, I thought they should have been happy about that. But yeah, I think you nailed it. I think that Switzerland should have taken advantage of maybe a bit of a depleted New Zealand team. A great shot that time. That was number 5, Francisco Bartelt of Switzerland.
And you're right, a great shot there. A tough shot, a long shot. They've had maybe easier opportunities in this game, but instead that's their first goal. And I think they'll take it with us just passing the 6-minute mark here in the second half. New Zealand, their lead once again 2.
But if you think that New Zealand's going to sit back and enjoy this 2-goal lead, you would be absolutely wrong. Switzerland, too good of a team to just sit back and hopefully defend. Switzerland now get possession, foul called against Switzerland. It will be New Zealand ball right inside that zone.
And that has to be frustrating for the Swiss. It was a nice shot there by Julie Bolton, number 5 of New Zealand. It looked like they were going to gain possession, but instead they lost it, and then a foul was called. So a missed chance there for the Swiss to maybe go to the other side and attack. Instead, possession will remain with New Zealand.
Now, they're still playing that 1-3-1 zone, but now you notice number 6, Joanna Smith, playing a little bit higher. Now she may have to start chasing that ball for New Zealand, as she now is going to chase number 8 with the ball. She's going to pass it out. But watch for Smith to kind of creep up a little farther away from that defense and try and get that ball for Switzerland.
Good pass inside. Instead, New Zealand's going to look and flip it back out. No more point differential. We don't have to focus on that anymore. It's do or die. So maybe New Zealand okay with running some clock off every single time that they gain possession. And this has to be frustrating for the Swiss. A couple of times they deflected it. It stayed in bounds, but they couldn't get possession. There, it went out of bounds and forced a corner for New Zealand. Yeah,
New Zealand just a quicker team than the Swiss is showing like right now, and just getting those loose balls, and that's what's really helping them lead this game. They're just a little bit quicker than Switzerland. Those fast breaks are a little quicker. But Switzerland now on the break. See if they can get this to a 1-goal game.
And there's still plenty of time. Still 4 minutes left here in the second half. The pace beginning to pick up a little bit here. And just over the net, keeping it a 3-1 lead. That could have been maybe the Swiss's best chance to cut this lead to 1.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that was a must-score opportunity. Still plenty of time, like you said, but it definitely would have felt good for the Swiss to get within 1.
Especially because New Zealand, they weren't set defensively. You had a solid break there. Good look right underneath the goal. But now you're going to have to play defense again. And that just means more clock is going to run off with an opportunity to fall behind even more. And they almost did, hitting off the top of the goal.
Now Switzerland, they have to have the chance to break now. As you see those Swiss kayaks going down that right side, but New Zealand pressing once again.
And that might be a mistake by New Zealand. Swiss looking for their second. Good recovery, though, by New Zealand. Tough, long shot, but it looked as if it went in, and it did. What a shot.
Francisca Bartel, that's her second of the game, and second long shot of the game.
We saw the Swiss taking those deep shots earlier on in the first half, and they were just missing completely. A couple close to the net, but they weren't even deflecting off the bar. There, with a player in the net, what a shot there to cut this lead to 1. We said that it was going to be tough for the Swiss to come back. Things were going to have to start going their way. Maybe a couple of lucky bounces. Right there was one of them.
Absolutely. Just off the paddle of the goalkeeper for New Zealand, that was Sean Fendel. But now New Zealand, now they have to be like, let's just run out the rest of this clock. We have a full 40 seconds on the shot clock still remaining. They can bring this to about 2 minutes left in the game, putting more pressure on Switzerland. I said earlier, don't count on New Zealand just waiting back, but maybe that's what they have to do to get this win.
And what's going to be the energy level for New Zealand? Just missing semifinals, now looking like maybe they might blow a big lead here in this game. We'll see if they can finish this game strong.
That was a big save on the New Zealand goal. That was number 2, Nina Lugenbull for Switzerland, but a sloppy pass by Lugenbull nearly gets intercepted.
The Swiss, they have a chance. 2 minutes on the clock. We're about to pass the 2-minute mark here. Down by 1. 2 straight goals by the Swiss after 3 consecutive by New Zealand to start this game off.
New Zealand now playing what looks to be a man-to-man defense. And like we said, it does leave that net wide open. And we know the Swiss can shoot from deep.
Pass to the outside to Bartlett, who has both goals for the Swiss. Maybe she can get her 3rd.
And there's the man-to-man defense working out now this time for New Zealand.
Great defense there by number 5, Bartlett. She has been incredible for the Swiss. That could have just saved the game there. Time running out for the Swiss to make a comeback. Another deep shot just past the net. Possession will flip, and now the Swiss, they're going to have to be aggressive here because there will not be much of a difference between the game clock and the shot clock.
No, and that was Bartel's shot that time. She was looking at goal the whole way. Everybody knew she was going to go for goal. No goalkeeper in net, I should say. But yeah, like you said, no difference between the shot clock and the game clock. The shot clock is the game clock at this point, and New Zealand more than content of just passing amongst themselves to wait out this Swiss defense. I'm surprised that Switzerland is not going to that 2-2 zone yet. They're still playing that 1-3-1, and now, as I say, now they go to that 2-2, trying to chase the ball.
They're going to have to chase it. They're going to have to gain possession quickly as time runs down. We're near the 20-second mark. Pressure is going to have to be put on this New Zealand team. Instead, the Swiss just can't get the ball back. And as the seconds wind down, it's looking less and less likely that the Swiss will be able to make this improbable comeback. 5 seconds left, and this will do it here. One last shot out of bounds. It will be a 3-2 final in favor of New Zealand over Switzerland. A tough comeback there for the Swiss.
Yeah, it would have been quite something if they did manage to get those 3 goals back. But like we said earlier, we've said it before, Switzerland really should have taken more advantage of a maybe depleted New Zealand team in half number 1. They didn't. They didn't get any goals on the board. Their first goal didn't come till about halfway through half number 2. But if you're the Swiss, no shame in this game. You played a tough New Zealand team. You played them tough, and they come out just with a slim 3-2 loss.
Too little, too late for the Swiss. They'll play for 7th. New Zealand, they'll move on to play for 5th. We'll be back for some semifinals action here for the 2018 ICF Canoe Polo World Championships.
Event time 10:48, 12 before 11 o'clock. We can continue here at pitch 1, day 6, 2018 ICF Canoe Polo World Championship. Coming up, we have 2 semi-final games. Senior women coming up on the pitch.